Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, good Tuesday morning. It is First News Keeler on vacation here on WIBX. Jeff Manaski sitting in with our special guest co-host today. It's
Mayor
Mark Butler. Thank you for correcting me before I made the mistake again. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
So you got your Bills hat on?
Yes, many stories involved with this hat.
Oh, well, we've got time for stories.
Yes, well, the season is starting to round into shape. We're expecting another big year out of the Bills.
So isn't it great when
I
your
had the
team...
opportunity to go to training camp last Wednesday.
Oh,
Mayor.
that's right. Yes. How'd that go?
It was awesome. I spent some time jumping between the fields and offense and defense. Tyler Bass was kicking 65-yard field goals. Josh Allen was launching them. Devin Cook was on the sideline just kneeling. The defense was looking good from what I seen on the first day. Yesterday was the official day that they put on pads. I guess there was a few scuffles and
That's
of
not
course
bad.
in training camp there's always a few scuffles.
Yeah,
not a
well,
bad
when
thing.
it's 100 degrees, that probably adds to the.
But Sean McDermott in his post conference after practice says, "With the pads on, boys, it's time to get nasty."
Yeah, well, again, that's I think that's common for a lot of teams. So I want to hear, you got some good stories, some winning stories related to that hat and the Bills?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, give me an idea why that's
Well,
your lucky hat.
Well, here's one story.
Or their lucky hat, I guess.
My brother-in-law had box seats, and he was close to the field, and we were watching the game, and it was just before halftime, and the marching band was coming down, and I had all kinds of Bills regalia on, so I went down to the fence, and while they filtered through, I was just watching the game, and apparently the girl that was in charge of the gate thought I was with the band, so she said, "Well, you coming or not?" So I walked down on the field, and I'm pacing up and down the field, and when I sent in some plays, they finally kicked me out. But but I mean, the guys are coming off the field. I'm shaking their hand. Hey, good play. It's like, who the heck are you? But nobody. They spent 10 or 15 minutes just walking up and down the side of the field, watching the game as close as you can get.
So
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
who was the quarterback when you were down there, Mark?
Well, that.
It was Josh Allen?
I think it was Otto Graham. I don't know. Yes, that was with Josh Allen.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if it was before Josh Allen. I'm sorry.
No. Well, my wife is a Buffalo girl, and when we got married, her family said two conditions: you have to be a Bills fan, and you have to learn to dance the polka band dance.
Oh.
And I've come to regret both, but the Bills have given us some exciting games and some great times together as a family.
Sure, absolutely. A seldom admitted to fun fact about yours truly. I used to, as a child, my grandmother would take me and I would do what I just called it Polish dancing. But there was an instructional class, and oh boy, I've got to search here for a minute. Jeff, how could you forget her name? Her name was Ann Urbanik. And she taught this class, and it was the second floor second or third floor. It was the second floor of the former Children's Museum in Utica. And I used to have to I would get dressed up in the costumes. You know, they're very colorful and large, loud costumes. And if you think that I didn't get teased about that when I was in grammar school, you're sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. And after the Polish traditional dancing we would do, the final dance was a little bit of fun, and it was the chicken dance. So, I mean, I remember even being 16 and 18 years old, and I would get teased about that. And then in my early 20s, you know, some friends and I would go out to the bar, and there might be a nightclub setting, and it'd be music playing, and my friends would go, "Hey, Jeff, why don't you go out there and show us the chicken dance?" So that was the fact that you can you still dance? What did you say, polka dance?
Well, yet another story. We went to the Bavarian Festival at the Manticore.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Butler said, well, let's get up and try and do the polka. And there's a little bit of difference between the way the Germans do it and the Polish do it. So she's trying to show me the steps. And one of my good friends, we're the only ones out on the floor, and one of my good friends videotapes it, and I saw that tape, and I said, my dancing days are over. I'm telling you that right now. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But a few years ago, they used to have a festival up at the Diamond Mines in Middleville. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we did polka dance, and I thought we were looking pretty sharp going down there. And I guess, I don't know, somebody taped that, and it was on TV. And some
like a news clip, like
not a news clip. No. It was a video of the thing that somebody shot.
Oh, no kidding!
So this is a couple of months later, and we're just sitting in the living room watching, and then here we come dun, da, 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 by, and we see ourselves dancing. And we said, "Oh man, is that ugly!"
So you told the story. You mentioned your Bills hat and it being a lucky hat.
Yeah.
I have a Giants jacket, New York Giants jacket, that I consider to be a lucky jacket, and I'll tell you why. I went, it was 12 years ago, something like that. It was when the Giants won their first Super Bowl. They won twice in 4 years, and the first one, the division was up for grabs on the final game of the season. It was actually a Sunday night game, and I went out there with a friend of mine. It was Giants-Cowboys, and one of my best friends growing up is a Cowboys fan. Mm. So we occasionally make the trip down to New Jersey to watch the Giants-Cowboys. Going in, we stopped in one of the merchandise shops, and I bought this nice, sharp, sleek. I look thin in it. I really do look thin in it. I love the jacket. Giants jacket. So the Giants go on to win the game. They beat the Cowboys. They win the division, so they're headed for the playoffs. And as I say, they went on to win the Super Bowl. This is why I think it's a lucky jacket. On our way out, we're heading back through the parking lot, and I hear this noise. It's like, and I happen to glance up over my shoulder, and I see something coming at me. And a bird pooped on my jacket.
Wow, that is definitely a sign of good luck.
It was a seagull or something who was, munching on whatever people were throwing out in the parking lot, happened to be overhead, and it got right on the arm of my new jacket, and I was so obviously upset and disgusted by it. But my mother reminded me, there's an old wives' tale that's a good luck thing.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they went on and won the Super Bowl, beat the Patriots. I was pumped about that. Obviously, I've cleaned the jacket, but I still have it, and I wear it in the fall.
Well, that's a great story. You're a lucky guy.
Yes, I am lucky. So
when I get dumped on, the outcome isn't quite the same.
That's all the Bills need to get over the hump, right?
Oh, we need this one desperately this year. That cook is driving me nuts. So what's he's up to?
Well, we did say last week that it was a good thing, or I thought it was a better thing than holding out and no showing. He still doesn't have a contract, right? He wants more money, but he is showing up to practice, even though he's not actually practicing. But the fact that he's with the team, some guys will hold out and completely no show, and I really think that sets a bad tone for the team.
He's participating in drills.
He's still doing drills. Oh, well, good.
But he wants to be considered one of the top running backs,
Well, considered one of the highest
paid running backs in the league.
Yeah. So, Smitty, we alluded to this before coming out of news here. Was there another update with Jim Kelly or the Kelly family on his cancer treatment? I thought I just saw in the news that.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Okay. Yeah, but you never know. I've fallen into this, and people should be aware with social media and Facebook in particular. I understand you can have an opinion, and everything you say doesn't have to be verified, but there are so many false stories that are presented as legitimate news items that appear on Facebook.
Oh, it says Jim Kelly's family asked for prayers amid newborn grandson's health struggles. I guess one of his daughters just had a baby, and it's not.
Boy, they've had their share of problems, that family.
My goodness.
When I was in the assembly, I was in Johnstown in Fulton County, and they had some big event for, kids' football teams and stuff. And Jim Kelly was the speaker, and we were at the Holiday Inn, and I got some FaceTime with him, but that was the night he got the call about his son having Hunter's disease, and he was a pro. He went out and gave his speech, but he had to be crushed. I mean, that was something else.
It's amazing with his cancer, and then the son, and now I guess a grandchild. I mean, I'm not being cute here. They're trying to be.
It's their first daughter, Erin, and her husband Parker Bean welcomed their son earlier this week. He's just having some trouble, so they're asking for prayers.
Well, he's got them.
Yeah, absolutely. That Bills Mafia. They do say their prayers.
They do.
So it makes you wonder, like, was the family, did they live near a power line? Were they downstream from a factory? I mean, it's generation after generation with them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure a lot of people ask that question, but
I do wish him the best, but it's unfortunate. And again, obviously, a guy who took care of himself, he's a professional athlete.
Sure, yeah.
So,
as they say, Kelly's strong.
Kelly's strong. What's going on in the big city, Newport?
Well, it's all happening.
You
got
to go get the New York Times.
Yeah,
Jeff.
I know. You read it in the top of the full front page. Fireman's Field Day is coming into Newport. It's going to be a wild one.
Well, you mentioned the New York Times. I just saw a headline. It said, it was big, bold letters. It said, Newport Fireman's Field Day's debunked. That was well it said. Right?
Darn AI, God darn it.
There's always something that Trump said that they've debunked without actually debunking it.
Interestingly enough, we are in the midst of a major overhaul of West Street, the way to the field day. So it's going to be kind of a dirt path there, but we're not canceling the field days. We're not canceling the project, but it could be a little bit sloppy.
Major overhaul in like replacing sewer lines underneath or just repaving? What do you got going on?
Repaving, and the village, we're putting in a new water line. And Newport, whoever founded Newport, we're built on a rock ledge, so to get down and deep enough so that the pipes don't freeze, you have to go down about 4 feet. And at about 2 feet, they find pure rock, and it's not just, it's that hard limestone. And we had to have special digging equipment come in and pound that rock. It's just been a nightmare for these poor contractors. But we're getting it done. I just want people to know, bring your lunch here, because it's going to be a little bit of a hassle to get along West Street, but it'll be open. The parade will go on, and everything will be as it always is.
When is that?
Starts Friday night, and then Saturday is the big interstate firemen's parade. We have a group from New Jersey that comes up and joins us every year, and then fireworks Saturday night. So
nice.
That's the big day.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Coming up, we'll talk with Ryan Schmelz from Fox News. Will President Trump's nominees get confirmed without having to keep lawmakers stuck in Washington? We'll talk about that. And I don't know if you've heard, there was a shooting in New York City overnight.
Actually happened yesterday at 6:30 last night.
Well, when I said overnight, I meant since we've last been here, including a bystander who was killed. these mass shooting events, unfortunately, have become so common. It's not even like the New York Post is covering it, but I don't even know that it qualifies as national news anymore.
There was another shooting. Where is it? Las Vegas or Reno? Three people killed out there.
Is this Ryan? Fox News Radio's Ryan Schmelz joins us. As I mentioned, President Trump's nominees, will they get confirmed? Filling us in on the details here is Ryan Schmelz. Good morning, Ryan.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good. So what's the concern here? That it'll happen before break, or that they'll have to leave town first?
Well, they're not going to be able to get it done before break. They have 135 nominees to confirm still, so they've got a long way to go. Now, can they get a good portion of them done before the end of the week? We don't know yet. I mean, Leader Thune pretty much said last night that Democrats can either do this the easy way or the hard way. So he hasn't said outright if he's going to cancel the August recess, but he's definitely teased it as a possibility if this continues. They're actually kind of ahead of schedule. At this point in the confirmation process of the presidency, President Trump's got a good portion of his nominees confirmed by the Senate. That's because Thune had a pretty aggressive schedule to begin the year when President Trump first took over in terms of confirming some of these nominees. But at the same time, Democrats have been using a lot of stall tactics and allowing this to move as slow as possible. So I think President Trump's kind of lost his patience a little bit and has said, I want my staff in, and I want them in as quickly as possible.
So nominees for to be judge
everything.
Or what? Everything, yeah.
Everything. You got so many lower. Like you got to confirm the deputies. You've got to confirm the lower, the U.S. attorneys. I mean, there's so many seats that you have to fill. You don't really realize how many positions in an administration are Senate confirmed until you come here and actually have to watch the Senate vote every single day on these nominees. It's quite fascinating, honestly. And there are still some high-profile positions. Like, President Trump doesn't have his ambassador to the UN confirmed yet because we had the Elise Stefanik situation where they kept her in the House as long as possible, and then they eventually just withdrew the nomination because they wanted her to stay in the House. And then you've also, President Trump hasn't even nominated somebody to be the NASA administrator because, that was a position where they had a nominee, and then that person got withdrawn because of the Elon Musk drama.
Yeah.
How is the work getting done then? I mean, do they just plug somebody in as a fill-in, or are things being
Pretty
left
much,
undone?
Yeah. Sean Duffy is currently the NASA administrator. He's also the Department of Transportation head. Marco Rubio's got about 5 jobs right now. I forget which ones. I think he's also the chief archivist. He runs the library. I mean, he's the librarian of Congress too, or yes. I mean, you've got people doing multiple jobs right now. Let's just put it that way.
So the work isn't going undone then.
Well, if he's the ambassador to the library or something, I don't think he's spending too much time there. So maybe that one's going undone.
Yeah.
But Ryan,
well, you've got the deputies who kind of run things too, and all that stuff. So,
sure. I was going to say,
never a shortage of staff.
And those are holdovers from the previous administration who are doing like the daily in and out work.
In some cases, yes. Not in all cases, because a lot of those people resign or whatnot. But yeah, in some cases, you have deputies from the holdover administration kind of running things too.
And just one more, Ryan. I know you've got to run. It is something people don't think about. I mean, it's the end of July, so what are we, 7 months in? And if it's delayed further, it's going to be almost a year into the first year of a 4-year administration.
Yeah.
All that stuff, kind of important decisions, it seems like would just be put on hold. And that's not specifically unique to the Trump administration. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio, thank you as always, and have a great day.
You too, my friend. Thank you.
Ryan Schmelz, as we say, often checks in the 6 a.m. hour with some of the bigger stories of the day going on in D.C. We're also going to talk to Tanya J. Powers coming up in a minute. Today is National Chicken Wing Day, and I have a better day in mind. I think you know what day it is. Super Bowl. How is that not National Chicken Wing Day? Right, Sunday, football.
Oh, you want that to be National Wing Day, Super Bowl Day.
I mean, it's going to be, what, 87 today, heat index in the mid-90s. How many people are going, we ought to grab some wings for lunch? Nobody. Nobody's saying that today. It's late July. It's not like this is a unique weather pattern for us either. It's the middle of summer. It's an odd day, isn't it?
It's a summer barbecue delicacy, so
yeah,
that's the attraction.
Okay, no, that's true, but I think there's more chicken wings consumed on any day in the year. It's on Super Bowl Sunday. Also guac, too. So, I don't know. We'll talk with Fox's Tiny J. Powers about that coming up.
Some brilliant guy from Buffalo to come up with the idea of chicken wings could be fun. Another contribution to national culture out of Buffalo.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But I think if you break it down, Mayor, it's like, what are we going to do with these wings? We going to throw them out again, or you want to cook them?
Right.
All right, well, let's cook them and try them instead of just throwing them out. It's First News, Keeler in the Morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service is celebrating 45 years of serving Central New York. Family owned and operated since 1980, they're proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to AC service and check engine light diagnostics, they offer complete auto service and repair. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Two more hot ones, then a front will get here by Thursday and knock us down, and a pretty good start to the month of August on Friday. Sun 90 today, near 90 tomorrow with an isolated shower thunderstorm in the afternoon. By Thursday, a few showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 70s. But how about Friday? Very pleasant sunshine, close to 80 degrees. In the morning, it'll be in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX. Jeff Manaski and Mayor Mark Butler sitting in here this morning. I appreciate it. Coming up later this morning, we'll talk with Rob Esch, president of Mohawk Valley Gardens. The Mohawk Valley Garden. Is it Garden or Gardens?
Mohawk Valley Garden.
They're having a free hockey school at the Utica Nexus Center. In the 8 o'clock hour, we'll speak with Utica City Councilwoman Katie Aiello. She's requesting to rescind the unauthorized salary increase that was recently proposed for some officials. Thank you, Smitty. He's passing me that documentation right now. Katie's been very vocal. Councilperson Aiello has been very vocal in her opposition to some things that are going on with this administration. and I'm going to mention this when she's on the air in here this morning. She's also very, I guess, prolific with these videos that she puts up, where she puts out her her feeling on particular issues, and often she's chastising those in the administration. But the editing and the way it's done, I actually think is quite catchy, and it does get the attention of a lot of people. Now, whether you agree with her point or not, again, that might be a different issue. But the reason I bring that up, and I'm not affiliating her with this Mamdani guy in New York City, but apparently his approach or his team's approach with, what is it called, the TikTok and some of his social media videos are kind of what made him catch on.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is the flash over substance, that people opted to support him because they think he looks cool in videos and it's edited well, as opposed to, are we voting for socialism or communism or this whole thing about government-run supermarkets? It's just...
in buses and other things that the government would get their fingers in. It's insane.
It really is. And at some point, the city will run out of money. I thought the city was still reeling financially from the migrant situation, where they were paying, what was it, $500 a room a night at some places to house how many thousands of people?
It's not good in New York City right now, but I don't know how the polls are going. I think they're shifting down there and away from him. That's what I'm hearing.
I hope so. I hope that's not just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Well, there are other candidates with similar programs and proposals in other Minneapolis, I guess, somewhere out there. And
yes.
I don't know. It's a bad direction to be moving, I think.
Well, nobody's won yet. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. Neither one of those candidates have won yet. And I hope you're right. I hope maybe the polls are showing that there's a bit of a swing back. But Mark, someone's explaining this idea, and it makes sense because I don't know what else would make sense. But the younger generation seems to be under the impression that I don't know if you want to call it communism, that it's an idea that hasn't been tried yet. It's a proposal, if you will.
Yeah.
That like it's been never been given the light of day or an opportunity to succeed. And it certainly hasn't succeeded, but it's a lot of big ideas, and it sounds good when everything's free, but somebody has to pay.
Exactly right. And as I said last week, it was Churchill said, if you're not a liberal at 18, you got no heart. And if you're not a conservative 40, you got no brain. I mean, you got to understand the way this whole process works. I mean, it's easy to say, those rich people could keep paying, but they're not going to keep paying. If it gets bad enough, they'll just move out.
Absolutely. And then I think
it'll just make the problem worse.
He countered that idea with, well, I can implement a tax on anybody who does business with the city or in the city. So, for instance, if you were a businessman and said, all right, I'm moving out of my, luxury, condo, and I'll move to Florida or Texas or someplace else. Well, you might have businesses that you still run in the city, and that he would put in additional taxes to compensate for that.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. That would be nice. That would really encourage economic development in the city.
Yeah, of course it wouldn't. This, and I'm just wondering from your perspective as a former state assemblyman, what happens in New York City does impact, for better and worse, the rest of New York State. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's not good.
You're absolutely right. Now, they would argue that, of course, it's one of the financial capitals, if not the financial capital of the world. Mm-hmm. So our New York City colleagues argue, wait a minute, you take a pot of money out of New York City, what do we get for that? And, of course, those of us upstate think New York City has a lot of demand for services, and they take a lot of our revenue. I don't know if there's been an analysis about the way that money flows back and forth. And as you know, that every session somebody comes up with a great idea. We need to have New York City secede from the rest of the state.
Just going to say that.
It's, we're two different states connected by the George Washington Bridge, It'll never go. And someone said when they carved off West Virginia around the Civil War time, the Congress said it'll never split up a state again. So I don't know if that's fact, but that's what we were always told in Albany. So I don't think that's going to be a realistic solution. But as New York City goes, if they go down that slope, they're going to take us along with them. It's not going to be pretty.
I remember somebody appearing on this program a couple of years ago, and it was about, I don't remember what the line was. It might have been further upstate than just New York City, but that they would split the state, and I don't remember if upstate or the New York City area would be called was it New Amsterdam?
Yeah, I think something like that, yeah. Yeah, it gets some traction every few years, to do it, but I just don't know if it's legally doable. I mean, like I said, I'd heard, and I don't have that in writing, but after splitting West Virginia out of Virginia, they're very circumspect in Washington about splitting up states.
Well, amazingly, because we've been planning this conversation all week, we are joined by the general manager, head coach, and cleanup hitter of the New Amsterdam Metropolitans. And he is on the phone with us right now. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Well, hello, Jeff, and hello, Davey, and hello, Mr. Mark Butler.
Well, good morning, sir.
Now, there's been some crazy news the past few days in Major League Baseball. First of all, yesterday, Cubs Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg passes away.
Yeah, very sad. We touched on that this morning, and it was, I believe, related to his cancer. Very sad story, and it came a day after the annual induction in Cooperstown.
And also, a Cleveland Guardians pitcher is on leave for sports betting.
Oh, I didn't hear this. Stefan, what do you know about that?
Well, he's a relief pitcher, and he's on non-disciplinary leave for sports betting.
I'm trying to find some details on this right now. All right, what else you got, buddy?
And also, the commissioner, Rob Manfred, went into the Phillies locker room, tried talking about a salary cap. It didn't end well.
I would suspect not.
Yeah, I would suspect that also. But why would he just walk into the Phillies locker room and do that?
He's going to meet with every team that he wants. He's going to go on a tour and meet with every team. And he went into the Phillies locker room, and Bryce Harper told him to get the F out because he doesn't want to hear about this. He wants to try to reduce the salary cap of every baseball team to level it out. And Bryce Harper told him, get out.
Well, nobody's surprised by that. He has to. Same number of games. We're talking about the same number of games, but players get paid less. Of course, they're going to reject that. How about fewer games? How about instead of 162, we do 145 or something like that? It's such a long season, and I love baseball, and I'm not advocating. I guess it sounds like I'm advocating for less baseball, but it's a little overwhelming at times for a lot of fans. It's tough to track. It's a part-time job, 3 hours a night. It's a part-time job.
But how many people can do it?
Play baseball? Well,
at that level.
If you're talking an international game, they can fill the teams.
Yeah.
They can fill the teams. Hey, I've got the story here. Is Stefan still on? Stefan, Cleveland Guardians closer, and he's the closer. Emmanuel Clace on Monday was placed on non-disciplinary paid leave through August 31st, part of Major League Baseball's investigation into sports gambling. The second Guardians pitcher to be caught up in the inquiry. Guardians right-hander Luis Ortiz remains on non-disciplinary paid leave after originally being placed on July 3rd after unusual gambling activity on 2 pitches that he threw for balls. Ortiz's leave was later extended to August 31st. In a statement, the Guardians said no additional players or club personnel are expected to be impacted by the investigation, but they always say that until there's an announcement that another member of the team or personnel has been included in the investigation. A source confirmed the investigation has not turned up information tying other players to sports gambling or betting. I'm not happy this stinks, Guardians manager Stephen Vogt said before Monday night's 8-6 loss to Colorado. It's a different part of our game now because it's legal. 2 of our guys are being investigated, and it hurts. It's an unfortunate situation. A spokesman for Major League Baseball Players Association declined to comment. Clace, 27, is a 3-time All-Star and 2-time winner of the Mariano Rivera Award as the best reliever in the American League. Oh, my goodness. If this guy just threw away his career over something stupid.
Yeah.
It's not like he's a nobody who was kind of on the fringe. Stefan, I appreciate the call. This one slipped by me. I didn't see that investigation had been expanded. But I appreciate your time, and I know you stayed up late to watch the Mets game. It was an unfortunate walk-off loss.
Yeah, and that sports betting sounds a lot like a Pete Rose situation back in the 80s.
Well, I was just going to let you go, but how so?
Well, Pete Rose was...
No, I know that, but specifically about this, other than just betting, is that what you're saying because it involved betting?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
yes.
okay. All right, thank you, buddy.
Yep.
I appreciate the call. Thank you. 315-736-0186 if you want to weigh in. Fox's Tanya J. Powers now joins us on the air. And, Tanya, I have to say, I'm going to object to the date here. Tuesday, today, is National Chicken Wing Day. Why isn't it Super Bowl Sunday?
You know what? I have no idea, and I wondered the exact same thing. I was like, wait, this can't be right. This not even Super Bowl weekend. So I don't know. I mean, aside from the fact that this is when the Buffalo mayor in 1977 declared it Chicken Wing Day, I don't know. That's all I got.
You know, Tanya, in a lot of cases, when it's a national whatever day, people are encouraged to go out and enjoy that product or whatever the service or food might be. It's going to be like, I don't know, heat index in the mid-90s today. Nobody's going to say, hey, let's go grab some wings. Who wants some hot chicken wings today? It is an odd day to have it.
I think if it weren't for the history of the whole thing, that somebody would have gone, you know what, why don't we do this in like a cold month?
So the origin, though, is that the Buffalo mayor declared it on this day.
Yeah, apparently this was the then mayor of Buffalo decided that this was National Chicken Wing Day to celebrate the thousands of pounds of chicken wings that were consumed by people in Buffalo and restaurants and taverns each week throughout the city. So that's the whole reason. I think for this, maybe like I don't know if it was a tourism plot. I'm not sure what it was originally, but that appears to be why it's celebrated today. And we just missed Chicken Finger Day, which was apparently over the weekend. So they are very, very close together. You may have celebrated. I don't know.
Tanya, do you have history on how the chicken wing became a popular thing? And that they used to just be thrown out, and one day someone said, "Hey, why don't we cook these and try them?"
You know, we've done stranger things with animal parts. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's all kinds of weird things that that are far stranger than the chicken wing. But yeah, it must have been kind of interesting for somebody to go, you know, we're not using these. You know, why don't we make these like some sort of like feature on the menu instead of just, hey, would you like this free with whatever you're buying? And by the way, there are a whole bunch of restaurants and you know, chains and you know, places like that are doing National Chicken Wing Day specials and deals today. I think Popeyes is buy a 6-piece wing and get one free. Like there's like Buffalo Wild Wings doing stuff, Wingstop. I mean, you name it. There's a lot of places that are doing, you know, different buy one get one deals or stuff like through their apps or whatever. So if you're in the mood for a really high heat index and some chicken wings, there you go.
It is so true. Fox's Tanya J. Powell. Before we let you go, there's something I often see in the supermarket. Mark Butler, you might know this. It looks like chicken feet.
Yeah,
they probably are.
They could be.
But they have a name, though. They have a special name. You know what I'm talking about, Smitty? If someone could comment on either the YouTube app or send us a message, the YouTube app, on the YouTube stream, or send us a message. I often see this, and I don't know if it's an ingredient in soup or if people eat them that way.
Yeah,
I gotta check that out.
There's some things you see in the grocery store that I wish I'd never seen.
Tanya, thank you so much, as always. I know that's an awkward end to our segment, but I appreciate your time today.
Okay.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, who joins us each and every day. What are these called? They have a name. Chicken paws. Chicken paws is what they call them. And they're the paws. They're their feet that they walk around on. I don't know. Maybe they have they're very flavorful. I'm not sure. But I don't know. Anyway.
Doesn't sound tempting to me.
You don't know where to go with that, neither do
I don't.
It's First News, Keeler in the Morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. We are up on YouTube. An update from Fox News and local news next.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks, no long drawn-out sales presentations, just high-quality, custom-fit windows at reasonable prices made right here in New York. And right now, you can get up to $2,000 of free windows from Patriot and NYSERDA, plus 0% interest for 18 months. Most homeowners qualify for the free windows, and income is not one of the requirements. So write this number down, 315-401-0440. That's 401-0440. Patriot Home Solutions will tell you right over the phone if you qualify. Don't miss your chance to win up to $2,000 of free windows. Funds are limited, so call before they run out. Learn more at callpatriothomesolutions.com. That's callpatriothomesolutions.com.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
This is an urgent message for investors over the age of 50. Silver is on the verge of making history. This is an opportunity you can't miss. We're Advantage Gold, the #1 rated precious metals company in America, and we've helped thousands of investors move their IRA, 401k, or retirement account into physical gold and silver safely and securely. Call 800-900-8000 now and get our free 2025 Silver Investor Report and learn why now could be the best time to own physical silver. In this eye-opening guide, we reveal why silver is surging and could make new all-time highs, how to protect your retirement from inflation and market chaos, and the little-known IRS loophole that lets you own gold, silver, and even platinum, 100% tax and penalty-free. Plus, you'll learn how to get up to $10,000 in free silver with a qualifying purchase. But don't wait for this opportunity to pass you by. Call us now and learn how to own physical silver today the smart way. Call 800-900-8000 now. That's 800-900-8000. Or visit us at AdvantageGold.com. Past performance may vary. Consult your financial or tax.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
He drove cross-country. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The man who shot up an office building in Midtown Manhattan, New York City, killing 4. Fox's Alexis McAdams is outside the building where it happened.
This gunman, armed with an AR-15, literally pulls up here right near Park Avenue, jumps out of his BMW, walks up those steps behind me, and enters the lobby. That's when they say he pulled out that weapon, shot and killed an NYPD officer, and shot 3 other people, then went upstairs and opened fire as well.
He shot and killed another person on the 33rd floor, where that gunman then shot himself himself in the chest and died.
27-year-old Shane Tamura. Investigators say drove for days, came all the way from Nevada. He lived near the Las Vegas area, shows up here in New York City with a plan.
He reportedly left behind a suicide note and had a history of mental illness. One of those shot in the lobby survived, an employee of the NFL, which has offices in the building. There was also a shooting outside a casino in Reno, Nevada. A man opened fire in the valet parking area.
In total, 6 victims were shot. 3 of them are now deceased.
Sparks Police Chief Chris Crawford. The gunman was shot by police and is in critical condition. They don't know his motive. President Trump's out playing golf in Scotland at the new Trump course he just opened in Aberdeen. Then the president said he'll end his 5-day trip and fly back to Washington to deal with different world conflicts.
That's much more important than playing golf. As much as I like it, it's much more important.
Now, one of the conflicts is in Ukraine, where new Russian attacks killed at least 22 people the day after the president shortened a deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire to 10 to 12 days, or else the U.S. will impose new economic sanctions.
Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev is warning against ultimatums, saying the president should remember 2 things. He says Russia isn't Israel or even Iran. Each new ultimatum is a threat and a step towards war, not between Russia and Ukraine, but with his own country. Don't go down the Sleepy Joe road, appearing to refer to former President Joe Biden.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. America's listening to Fox News.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
Quiet down, here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Democrats are defying the Trump administration again. A group of 20 state attorneys general suing the Department of Agriculture.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta says they will not comply with the USDA's demand for data of those who get food stamps, saying it's information like Social Security numbers and addresses.
SNAP recipients provided this information to get help feeding their families, not to be entered into a government surveillance database or be used as targets in the president's inhumane immigration agenda.
New York Attorney General Letitia James said the demand for this data is unlawful.
In fact, our laws prohibit us from disclosing this SNAP data unless it is strictly necessary for administering the program.
The Trump administration has previously said there are abuses to the program and they want to better ensure the benefits only go to those who qualify. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Federal Reserve policymakers gather today to assess the economy and inflation. In a meeting that'll end tomorrow with a decision on interest rates, President Trump has been demanding a big rate cut, critical of Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 closed at record highs. A baseball Hall of Famer is being mourned, especially by Chicago Cubs fans.
Ryne Sandberg died Monday after a battle with cancer. Traded to the Cubs from the Phillies after just one major league hit, Sandberg went on to collect 2,385 more with the Northsiders. He was a 10-time All-Star, 9-time Gold Glove winner. He was the 1984 National League Most Valuable Player, and when he retired in 1997, he held the record for home runs by a second baseman with 277. Ryne Sandberg was 65 years old. I'm Tim McMaster, Fox News.
Sandberg's Cubs lost last night. Milwaukee beat Chicago 8-4, breaking their tie atop the National League Central Division. The Brewers now have a 1-game lead, and the New York Mets' 7-game win streak is over, beaten last night by San Diego 7-6. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, clear skies, 69 degrees, another hot one on tap today. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. Again, New Yorkers being urged to prepare themselves for multiple days of high heat. Forecasters say the feels-like temperatures could be between 90 and 100 today and tomorrow, and heat advisories will be in place. Extreme heat is dangerous. It's also the leading cause of weather-related death in the United States. The city of Utica has been chosen as the next host for the Empire State's Summer Special Olympics Games. Special Olympics New York says the city will have the games between 2026 and 2028. Each June, hundreds of athletes with disabilities take part in sports, basketball, powerlifting, swimming, and tennis. The Summer Games also feature a Healthy Athletes event where people can receive free health screenings. The latest expansion and modernization project at Syracuse Hancock International Airport now complete. Roughly $20 million was spent on things like additional seating, concession areas, and improving passenger flow. The second floor of the terminal building was also renovated to expand the Federal Inspection Safety Facility, which ensures that airport keeps its designation as an international airport. The airport handled more than 3 million passengers last year alone. That's up 5% from 2023. This news update brought to you by the Stanley Center for the Arts. Right now, clear skies, 69 degrees, but it will once again be a warm one today. Here's what we can expect. Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
2 more hot ones, then a front will get here by Thursday and knock us down, and a pretty good start to the month of August on Friday. Sun 90 today, near 90 tomorrow with an isolated shower thunderstorm in the afternoon. By Thursday, a few showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 70s. But how about Friday? Very pleasant sunshine, close to 80 degrees. In the morning, it'll be in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Again, clear and 69 at 7:08. All right, in sports, you heard it there at the end of the national update. The Mets saw their winning streak come to an end last night, snapped at 7 games. It was a walk-off loss. They fell to the Padres 7-6. Mark Vientos homered, a grand slam, in fact, for the Mets. The Mets still lead the NL East. They continue their 3-game series against the Padres tonight. The Yankees parting ways with an arm before the Major League trade deadline. Atlanta acquired veteran right-hander Carlos Carrasco from the Yankees Monday in exchange for cash considerations. Carrasco, now 38, had been designated for assignment in May. He was 2-2 with a 5.91 ERA and 8 appearances with the Yankees. He was 4-2 in 11 appearances in AAA. On the field last night, the Yankees came up short. They dropped their opener to the Rays 4-2. The Yankees have now dropped 4 of their last 5. They continue their 4-game series against the Rays tonight. Some good news for Jets fans. Starting quarterback Justin Fields returned to the practice squad for the first time since suffering a dislocated toe last week. In other news, New York also placed running back Zach Evans on the reserve injured list. Baseball Hall of Fame second baseman Ryne Sandberg died Monday at the age of 65. He played 15 of his 16 big league seasons with the Cubbies, for whom he made 10 All-Star Game appearances. He won 9 Gold Glove Awards, 7 Silver Sluggers, and he was named the National League's most valuable player in 1984. His number 23 is retired by the Cubs, and a statue of him was unveiled outside Wrigley last summer. Philadelphia Phillies star Bryce Harper had some choice words for Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred in a meeting between the team and the commissioner last week. ESPN is reporting that Harper and Manfred had a heated confrontation that involved the 2-time NL MVP cussing out the commissioner of the league. The dispute reportedly centered around Manfred wanting to talk about the potential implementation of a salary cap. Now, there is a salary cap in baseball, isn't there? Isn't that why the Yankees always pay that tax? The Mets have to pay a tax? So I guess what's different about this salary cap?
Who knows, Jeff? You got me. But the Yankees, we know the Yankees and the Mets both are big spenders, and they keep on adding.
So there is a cap in place currently. I guess we got to figure out what the variance is here. And then a Texas man is behind bars. This is something you don't often hear about in regard to male professional athletes. A Texas man is behind bars after pleading guilty to stalking and harassing Caitlin Clark. Michael Lewis was arrested in January at an Indianapolis hotel on a felony stalking charge after allegedly, repeatedly sending threats and sexually violent messages to the Indiana Fever star via social media. The 55-year-old has been sentenced to more than 18 months in prison. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears said the resolution ensures the defendant is held accountable for his threatening actions. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:10. A busy hour ahead. Stay tuned. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
When my business was taking off, our old phone system just wasn't cutting it. We needed fewer missed calls, more flexibility, and better visibility into customer conversations. That's when I found OpenPhone.
OpenPhone is the all-in-one system for small businesses and growing teams. Manage multiple numbers from one device, work seamlessly as a team with shared numbers, and stay organized with AI-powered call transcripts, summaries, and next steps, so nothing gets missed and your team responds faster. OpenPhone integrates with tools you already use, like Slack, HubSpot, and Zapier, so everything's connected and efficient.
Having tried just about every relevant small business phone system, OpenPhone is truly in a league of its own. It's now essential to how we run our business, and I couldn't be happier with the value it brings.
See why over 60,000 businesses trust OpenPhone. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TIRE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TIRE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TIRE.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley Mattress Express's summer sale is on, and this is a big one, folks. Pay attention. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin. Save, save, save. Flex head beds included. These are beautiful, therapeutic select mattresses starting at just $499, folks. Why pay more? No credit check payment plans. We do them every day. 5 years, no money down to pay for qualified buyers. That includes massage chairs, folks, full line of massage chairs. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. In Oneida, in the Glenwood Plaza where the movie theaters are, folks, go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. No appointment necessary. King for the price of a queen. Queen for the price of a full. Full for the price of a twin, only at Mattress Express.
Hi, I'm Jim Bono, your guide to all things summer happening right here in Herkimer County. From scenic views in our beautiful Adirondacks to family fun, outdoor adventures, and the many festivals lighting up our towns and villages, there's something for everyone. Visit Herkimer County online at herkimercountyny.gov/events for a complete listing of summer happenings.
Herkimer County, where history, commerce, and beauty collide. It's all happening here this season. Visit Herkimer County online and make your spring and summer unforgettable.
It's Mazda's More to Move You sales event at Steep Ponte Mazda. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s and CX-5s with 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. See the dealership for details. Mazda finished 2024 up 16.8% in sales year over year, so let's make your deal at Steep Ponte Mazda.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service is celebrating 45 years of serving Central New York.
Family owned and operated since 1980, they're proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to AC service and check engine light diagnostics, they offer complete auto service and repair. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at TallmansTire.com.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. A Tuesday morning, another hot day on tap. We unfortunately had another large shooting incident overnight, this one in New York City. This is via CNN. The Manhattan shooting gunman had a suicide note in his back pocket alleging that he suffered from CTE, a brain disease linked to head trauma, and expressed grievances with the National Football League, according to a source with knowledge of the investigation. In the note, he also asked for his brain to be studied. The gunman has been identified as 27-year-old Shane Devon Tamura, who is from Las Vegas. Police said Tamura's motives are still under investigation and that he had a documented mental health history. Tamura was a competitive football player in his youth. The short note was scribbled over 3 pages and found by investigators after the shooting incident. Terry Long football gave me CTE and it caused me to drink a gallon of antifreeze, the shooter wrote, according to a source. You can't go against the NFL. They will squash you. Terry Long, a former football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, was diagnosed with CTE. He died by suicide after drinking antifreeze in 2005. Study my brain, please. I'm sorry. Tell Rick I'm sorry for everything, the note said, according to the source. CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy, is an Alzheimer's-like disease that has been commonly associated with football players. Studies have shown that repetitive hits to the head, even without concussion, can result in CTE. But it sounds like this guy's claiming he got it from youth football, which I don't think we've had too many documented cases of that.
Well, I have no idea about that.
So this is obviously a horrible and tragic situation. I'm looking at the total. Was it 3 people killed or 4 killed? I'm not sure if they're including the shooter when they say 4 people were killed. The victims are a slain police officer, a 36-year-old immigrant from Bangladesh who had 2 sons, and his wife was pregnant with their 3rd child. One of those shots survived and is in critical but stable condition. An NFL employee was also seriously injured. The gunman shot 5 people, killing 4 in Midtown Manhattan on Monday. Was a former competitive football player who expressed grievances with the National Football League, whose corporate offices are in the building that was attacked. So maybe he played at a higher level than just youth sports, but that's what was referred to in the note. Also, this claim that he had to drink a gallon of antifreeze. So go ahead.
Well, I just wanted, I got a little bit of story that ties all this together. First of all, a guy walked down a busy street in New York City carrying an AR-15 and nobody even talks about it or sees it or notices it. I think that's a little bit crazy. But we talked earlier about the relationship between upstate and downstate. And I was in the legislature when they passed the SAFE Act. And about that same time, we also passed some legislation about minimum wage. And our New York City colleagues, well, New York City's finances are different. We have to have a different minimum wage scale in New York City and not upstate. So I argued, you know, if you're going to pass a SAFE Act, why don't you do a version for New York City and a less onerous version for upstate New York? Oh, well, it's all got to be the same. I said, well, how about the minimum wage thing? Well, that's different. So that's how those things work.
I guess my opinion is they're both different. I would agree that there is a difference in the cost of living in New York City than here, but I absolutely agree that, you know, people go out hunting Some people have large properties. They're allowed to walk around on their properties with a weapon. You're right. It should have been a bit of a different requirement upstate and downstate when it came to the SAFE Act.
Exactly, but the basic intent, I mean, New York City has specific circumstances that we don't have upstate. And,
sure.
And I certainly accept that. But if you can do it for minimum wage, why can't you do it for the SAFE Act?
I'll never forget then Governor Cuomo standing in front of a microphone saying, "You don't need 10 bullets to kill a deer." That was his whole justification for moving forward with that.
Remember when we had the shootings in Herkimer? He was in his car and in Herkimer before the bodies were cold. I mean, it was so right traumatic. In the shadow of Remington Arms. It was just a perfect setup for him. He made me. We had kind of a showdown on Main Street that day.
Yeah, no, I'll never forget that.
In his good graces after that.
And, you know, Bill Keeler will never forget that either.
Yeah,
he was actually
he was down there. Yeah.
And behind a vehicle broadcasting live here on the air. And I think the car next to him or in front of him had been hit with bullets.
Yeah.
From the shooter who was firing at police or returning fire. Yeah, that's a day that many in Herkimer County will never forget. Certainly, I won't.
Certainly not.
I won't ever forget. We've bumped that one. We bumped that guest. All right, so I wanted to talk about this CTE a little bit more. I'm not familiar with CTE being affiliated with any other sport than football. And the reason I bring that up is because boxers, I know boxing's not as popular as it used to be, but you would have to imagine some of those guys take headshots and they're knocked unconscious for several minutes.
Look at Ali in his later years. I think all the poundings he took in the ring contributed to his ailments when he was older.
Yeah, I could not disagree with that at all. And then you look at one of the most popular sports, and certainly an emerging sport, it's getting popular, more popular by the day, in MMA. And I understand where there's a quicker cut in the action. For instance, if someone's bell is rung, for lack of a better term, the referee will step in and kind of call the fight to an end. But it's always, the blame is always placed on football, and I don't know in other violent sports, specifically boxing and mixed martial arts, why that's never brought up. We put these people out there, and I understand they're willing participants, and they are paid for their performances, and they want to be in there fighting. And I'm not knocking the sport, and only in the aspect of why is CTE always specifically affiliated with football and not other sports? I don't understand why.
Got me.
So a tragic situation here. I don't know to what level this guy might have played football. The suicide note, though, did reference youth football, which I don't know, as I said, that we have too many documented cases of somebody playing like Pop Warner level football, or that being a thing. We did get an answer during the break on our chicken wing question.
It's a comment here on Facebook. Isn't it funny how nobody would say who set this guy off, even though people know that's some guy in the 315?
Who set him off?
Yeah. Isn't it funny how nobody would say who set that guy off, even though people knew?
Knew that what?
That's the comment.
The shooters sent the shooter in New York City off, and they learned the 315 area code?
No, the commenter is some guy in the 315. That's his name.
Isn't it funny how people would say who set that guy off, even though people knew?
All right, so some guy in the 315. Elaborate on that a little bit more. Tim commenting on a couple of things here this morning. He says one of the sports where they're looking at CTE is soccer, looking specifically, of course, at headers that players take when they try to head the ball. Tim also commented, he said the origin story behind chicken wings is that it was a late night at the Anchor Bar, and there were a bunch of guys who came in for something to eat. The only thing the bar had was wings, so the chef came up with it, and he used some hot sauce, and the rest is history. So, okay, fine. I appreciate that info there, but again, they used to be thrown out. They used to throw the wings out. I'm just wondering what they used to do with them. Okay, I guess so. It is a tasty treat. Don't get me wrong. I love chicken wings, especially on a football Sunday. I just don't know that late July is the day to have National Chicken Wing Day. It is 7:25. When we come back, we'll talk about some economic development and finding funding for smaller cities, towns, and villages because it can be difficult from someone who knows.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you just have to lean on your property taxpayers.
And they don't appreciate that very much. If you're successful, they appreciate the results, but if you're unsuccessful, they don't appreciate the investment.
So how do those smaller municipalities find funding from the state or federal governments? We'll talk about that next. We're joined by Michelle Hummel. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
River Hills Properties continues to be the fastest growing real estate company in Central New York. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. Bill and Robin Monjo started, and when they did several years ago, it was all about service. Let's give people in upstate New York, in the Mohawk Valley, Utica, Rome, let's give them services they've never seen from a real estate agency. Your listing agent is with you every step of the way from start to finish. There's the book. They don't use the lockbox. They go to every event, every meeting, whether it's with the bank or there's an inspector, whatever it is, River Hills, your listing agent is there. It's all about service. And they're conveniently located with offices in Barneville, Little Falls, Utica, to the north in Copenhagen, Newport, and coming soon to Rome, and not to mention their amazing office in the Gulf Coast part of southern Florida. Sarasota, Naples, Marco Island, they have you covered, whether maybe you're staying put in upstate New York or you're considering that snowbird option. Call River Hills Properties at 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. 315-896-1009.
Beautiful woodwork adds warmth and charm to any kitchen. But years of use can leave your cabinets worn and faded. When you call Enhance, we'll make your cabinets as good as new again in as little as 1 day for a lot less than you pay for traditional refinishing or replacements. Whether you want to renew your cabinet's original finish or completely change their color, just tell us the look you want and we'll help you get it. Or bring your hardwood floors back to life. With most Enhance renewals, you can use your floors again the same day. Plus, there's no mess, no dust, and no odors. Call Enhance today for a free in-home consultation. We'll explain the process, we'll show you how your cabinets or floors will look when we're done, and we promise you'll be really pleased with the price. And when you trust Enhance, you'll get the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job. There's no obligation. Call us now at 738-1113. 738-1113.
Do you suffer from sore feet, back, knee, or hip pain? The Good Feet Arch Support System has helped many people find relief, like Tim.
I'm always telling my colleagues who have sore feet, this is the greatest thing. I'll even take my shoe off and show them. And I believe in the product so much. When you have something that works, you kind of want to share it with people. It worked for me, maybe it can work for you.
Or do you wake up at night with heel pain, like Crystal?
I would wake up in the middle of the night with all kinds of pain in my heels and in my arch. So I went to the Good Feet store. And ever since then, I've been pain-free. I wear them every day. I wear them when I walk, at the gym, when I work. They're great.
Get back to walking, working, and exercising, and imagine a life without pain. No shots, no surgery, no medication. You've got nothing to lose but your pain. Stop into the Good Feet store today for a free fitting and test walk. We're located on Commercial Drive, across from Hobby Lobby.
To doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store, thanks to the Good Feet store.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Celebrating 100 years. This is WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is First News Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. We unfortunately ran out of time during the show yesterday, so we will do 2 free money questions of the day coming up later this morning. Be listening for your chance to win. Smitty, what are we doing here? How much money?
Let's do 100 on both.
100 on both. Okay, that works. We'll get to details on that coming up in just a few minutes. Speaking of money, I'll let our guest host here, guest co-host, Mark Butler, introduce our guest. Well, I'll introduce her, and you'll explain why this is significant for locals listening. Okay. Michelle Hummel is with Next Herkimer County.
It's Herkimer Next. Our DBA is actually Next. On
Next.
Facebook, you'll find us as Next Herkimer County, because Facebook does not appreciate just the word Next.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure of that. But essentially here, and Mark, you can take over. This is an important resource in finding funding streams for smaller municipalities.
That's exactly right. Michelle, early on when this organization was first forming, I called her and said, we need some help here in the village of Newport. She got right in her car and was in my driveway within a half an hour. She's great at what she does. She's helped our village a lot, and she's done a lot for the other communities in the area in Herkimer County. And they got some news. They're moving into a new headquarters. That's how quickly they've grown. And she has some other things to share with us. So we're interested in hearing what you have to say.
Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You were our first client. I will tell you that right out of the gate. So as many of you know, I was the former executive director of the Herkimer County Chamber. And when we decided that we wanted to, a group of individuals and I decided we wanted to move forward and create a nonprofit that would strengthen Herkimer County, we did a media release with, our brand, and we launched it, and Mark was in the audience. So that's how we connected. And I did drive right to your house.
Yes.
So, you talk about moving. We've moved a couple of times. So initially it started with me, an empty file cabinet in my family room. And shortly thereafter, we rented a 450 square foot office space in Central Plaza in Ilion. And that went well for a bit. And then, of course, we've expanded, and now we have a few employees. So we were pretty cozy in there for a little bit. And our neighbors happened to be retiring and said, well, why don't you rent our office? So I quite literally took the printer and wheeled it down the sidewalk. Best move ever. Yeah, absolutely great. True story. So we're now in an over 2,000 square foot space, and there are 4 of us that are working. One is a volunteer, and we've got 2 full-time employees, 1 part-time and a volunteer, but we're working really well together.
So we talked about the smaller communities, and when we're in this sweepstakes for state and federal grant money, the catch is you need some seed money to start out, and a lot of the smaller communities just $20,000 to hire a consultant. You just can't do it. So that is a need that Next fills, and they've been very helpful. Actually, I have to say, one of our projects we're hoping is soon coming to fruition. Michelle was Centraland, but we have a former elementary school that's been abandoned for 40 years, and we got caught in the backwash of state and federal regulations, but we're intending to demolish. And with their help, and with the help of Heather Devitt from MVEDD and John Pizik from IDA, we were able to get a commitment from the EPA for $500,000 to demolish this building. We're in the final stages. It's been postponed because of the regulations and the reports we had to file, but we expect maybe by September that this building is going to come down, and Michelle was essential in that for us. So we appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, it was quite a project. It's 2 years in the making here. So when I say you were our first client, we're still working on that project, but it's a great project. And, the first thing we did, there's so many moving parts when you do something like this. So we reached out to an environmental consultant and brought them in. And, of course, the Herkimer County IDA did their part as well. And then we pulled in Heather Devitt at Mohawk Valley Economic Development District, and we coordinated with Mohawk Valley Edge as well. Yep. So when you're a small when you are a small municipality.
But we are a nonprofit.
Yeah, right. Who is profit anymore, right? So it's very difficult to navigate those things. You've got, a part-time mayor who's working full-time hours, and you've got a part-time clerk. And when the EPA calls and says we can meet on this date and time, you need to meet on this date and time. So we are able to kind of come in and act like, I guess maybe a liaison, a coordinator between all those different agencies, which really does take a lot of pressure off of the municipality in terms of reaching deadlines and, fulfilling obligations.
In this particular case, it's not a matching type program, is it? They're willing to fund, the EPA is willing to fund the project for the sake of it being properly cleaned up?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a danger.
I mean, there is a modest amount that the village has put in, but not in the $500,000 range or anything like that. So, yeah, we hope the site will lead to some development there, whether it's private housing or apartments or something. So this is a step in a multi-stage project.
I know you said it had been left abandoned for quite some time, but can you talk about, either one of you, the pros and cons of demolishing and starting from scratch versus we're going to work with the existing structure? There might be some remediation that's needed, but these walls are still good, or maybe
the structure itself was deemed completely, it's not salvageable.
No.
It's demolished. It actually has been condemned. So it's quite dangerous. As a matter of fact, when someone was going through it, Mark, you could speak better than I can about this.
We had two structural engineers go through. The first one gave a very negative report. The second one got halfway through and walked out and said, "I quit. That place is a death trap." I mean, it's been totally abandoned. There's been no heat. In the winter, it's open. The ceilings are dropping.
Gotcha.
And an additional problem for the village, of course, is that we took it over for $1 3 or 4 years ago. But the liability, I mean, kids sneak in there, they have parties, and if it's dark, they trip and go down a stairway. We're cooked. So we're very anxious to get this down. It's a hazard. And if you look at it from outside, originally our original intention was maybe renovate it for apartments. We didn't want to just throw this thing aside, but after extensive review, we determined that it was beyond salvation.
So how long has Next been around, and how long? I know you said he was the first client, and you're still kind of putting the finishing touches on.
Oh, yeah. There are other clients, by the way.
Yes, you're not the only one.
Right,
yes.
Of course. So we founded, it was October 11th of 2022 is when we received our designation. I left the chamber and started full-time at Next on May 1st of 2023. Since that time, we have significantly contributed to bringing in almost $12 million into Herkimer County.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Right.
That's great.
They're doing a great job.
Now, are these, for instance, and it sounds like this is the case, where you had a project and you went to her and said, "Can you find or help us get funding for this specific project?"
Yes, exactly right.
So
right, we ourselves don't have the funding to offer, right?
So I didn't know if it's a stream that comes from the state or the federal government that works with agencies or is an agency, is it an appropriate way to describe it? Works with agencies like you that says, "Hey, we have X number of dollars," and you know this in government, if the money isn't spent, it gets chopped, and next year it doesn't exist anymore. So I didn't know if the government would come in and say, "Hey, we have X number of dollars for programs like this. Can you find us partners that need funding for this?" But it's actually the other way around. It's meeting the municipality's need.
Correct. Yeah. And there's all kinds of funding that's available. And so part of what we do is we research it to death. So we research every single opportunity and we qualify funding opportunities. So we're never going to recommend to another nonprofit or a municipality, "Hey, you should try for this particular grant," if we don't believe they've got a significant opportunity at winning it.
And that's a small community. We lack that kind of expertise to look at all the programs and the requirements and what you need and report. So it's great to have a clearinghouse like that to help you out.
That's excellent. Somebody listening, a member of government in a smaller municipality or something like that, how do they go about getting in touch with you? And
Sure. Well, our website is herkimercountynext.org. You can also reach us at info@herkimernext.org, or my name, Michelle, at herkimernext.org, and any number of ways. Our phone number is 315-864-0009. I do also want to mention, though, that we have multiple lines of business, so the municipal stream is definitely significantly important, but we also have a big segment of nonprofit education. So our ultimate goal and our mission is to strengthen Herkimer County and beyond that, really, because now we're working throughout the Mohawk Valley and even beyond that a little bit, to be honest, with some clients. We want to strengthen communities, and the way to do that is to strengthen your nonprofit organizations and your and your municipal sector. So both sectors really need to work in collaboration. That's the word. I anytime I have a microphone in my hand, you're going to hear the word collaboration because it's so significantly important. We need to be talking to everybody, to each other, and instead of duplicating efforts and instead of worrying about competition, let's break down those walls and have true conversations about how we can move forward as a region. And let's face it, we're not going to bring back the old main streets of yesterday. However, if we bring back some of the behavior of the way those store owners behaved or the neighbors behaved with taking pride in ownership and caring about each other, I think some of the rest will follow naturally if we can get everybody, thinking a certain way again about collaborative efforts.
Yep. Can you talk, would you say over $12 million?
Yes.
Can you talk about some of the other projects that you've helped secure funding for?
So we played a major role in the Herkimer DRI. We were involved in the committee to all get together and decide that they wanted to apply for it. And I also wrote the presentation for it. So, I didn't write the grant. I'm not going to claim that for sure. We had a great grant writer who did that for the village. And with that, you still have to do a presentation in front of the REDC. So I wrote that, soup to nuts. And everybody that was involved in it collaborated. We even did a rehearsal. I mean, it was really important. So as you know, they ended up being awarded the $10 million. There's been a number of other projects that we've been involved in. Obviously, the one in Newport, which was another $500,000. And we also do a lot of grant writing. So not only do we try to teach nonprofits how to write grants themselves, but we will also do grant writing because it's not for everybody. Let's face it, right? You really got to be able to know to write a grant for the person who's reviewing the grant.
Right.
And that's a certain niche that people sometimes just don't realize until, you have to, you trial and error, right? So, I mean, believe me, I've received a lot of no's in my life, which is why I'm okay with receiving them still, but I'll just move forward and try to get a yes. So the grant writing that we do is really, I think that's what makes us a little bit different than other organizations.
One of those things I think in the grant writing situation is what you have to emphasize repeatedly the obvious, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you don't want to overlook something that seems obvious and why couldn't you put two and two together, but it needs to be made clear when you're in that process.
Right. And then, that's the other part too, is that when you do receive a rejection, it's important to know why. And not every place you receive a rejection from is going to sit down and tell you. Now, on a state level, some of those grants, they will do a follow-up, but it's a little more technical. Oh, you didn't fill out box 36 correctly. It should have gone here, those kinds of things. But when you get into...
And that's a basis for rejecting a
grant
absolutely. That can impact the future of a community?
There are many different things. It's not normally just broken down to one, box number 36, but there are things, there's scoring systems for every single grant that you write. And if you miss some of those points, it's going to make or break you. So it's really important to know that. And with the smaller nonprofits applying for different funding sources that maybe aren't so rigid with those scoring systems, or maybe they have one, but they don't share it. It's important to talk to folks about, let's look at your structure. So if someone comes to us and says, will you help us write this grant? We need some funding for ABC. The first thing we do is say, can we see your budget? Can we, what's your project budget? Let's see your bylaws. Let's take a look at all of those things to make sure that they're truly grant ready. And we're finding that a lot of nonprofits aren't necessarily grant ready. And so we need an organization regionally, which is what we're doing, that will fulfill that need and talk to these smaller nonprofits to say, here's what you need to do to get your house in order. And once you have that in order, then when you apply, it'll be more successful.
Well, with all that said, don't forget Newport was your first client.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark, anything else you'd like to add here?
No, I think she's covered it pretty well.
I'll talk all day if you let me.
I
would be remiss not to mention our Mohawk Valley Nonprofit Symposium. This year we're holding it in November. It'll be November 13th at Delta Hotels by Marriott, and we've got a really good lineup of speakers. Nikon will be there. We've got Bon Shenik and King that's coming. I mean, it's really going to be quite an event this year. We're excited.
Great.
Excellent. Michelle Hummel with NEXT Next Herkimer County, and you can find them on social. Would you say Herkimer Next?
It's Next Herkimer County on social.
Next Herkimer County on social. Thank you for joining us, and thanks for
you for
securing
having
those
me.
dollars for our local communities.
Happy to do it.
We'll take a quick time out, come back with more First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Scott and Jill here from New York Sash to talk about bathroom remodeling. We make bathroom remodeling fast, easy, and beautiful.
And the whole process only takes 1 to 3 days, including tear out, new installation, and finish work.
So you can be enjoying your new bathroom in less than a week instead of a month or more like some remodelers.
So stop by our showroom located at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro and choose the style and the color that best fits you.
Then our bathroom installation experts will be in and out and done in just 1 to 3 days.
There's no reason to wait for a stunning new bathroom. Come in and see all of your options. Your new bathroom is just 1 to 3 days away.
Call New York Sash now and get 15% off windows, doors, or bathrooms. 315-624-7344. That's 315-624-7344. Or online at NewYorkSash.com. That's NewYorkSash.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
518-554-0000, 100 Great Oaks, Albany.
Hi, I'm Jim Bono, your guide to all things summer happening right here in Herkimer County. From scenic views in our beautiful Adirondacks to family fun, outdoor adventures, and many festivals lighting up our towns and villages. There's something for everyone. Visit Herkimer County online at herkimercountyny.gov/events for a complete listing of summer happenings.
Herkimer County, where history, commerce, and beauty collide. It's all happening here this season. Visit Herkimer County online and make your spring and summer unforgettable.
2 more hot ones, then a front will get here by Thursday and knock us down, and a pretty good start to the month of August on Friday. Sun 90 today, near 90 tomorrow with an isolated shower thunderstorm in the afternoon.
A Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle is a tremendous value. And right now during Mazda's More to Move You sales event at Steve Ponte Mazda, you can enjoy one of our best late model Mazdas from our Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles. We offer them with a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And if you need a lower price or payment, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle from the dealership that has achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction, Steve Ponte Mazda.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is the Keeler Show. First News Keeler on vacation. Jeff Manaski sitting in. We're alongside Mayor Mark Butler, the mayor of Newport, and thrilled to be joined on the phone now by Rob Esch, who is everything Comets and downtown Utica and Adirondack Bank Center and the Utica University Nexus Center. And there's something really cool going on coming up. Joining us now to talk about it is Rob Esch. Hey, Rob, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Jeff.
So you have a free hockey school that is set to take place, and you're inviting local kids to come on in. It's actually about 3 weeks away, but you're inviting local kids to come in and sign up for this, right?
Yep. We came up with the idea actually a couple of years ago, but we were just so busy that we never got around to it. And it's been quite a while since I've actually got on the ice and worked with the kids since my own son's moved on. But with saying that, I think it's everything that our county executive and county legislators built here at the Nexus Center. It's definitely a beacon in the area. It's been wildly successful. We've had amazing events here. So I got a bunch of our friends together, and anybody that plays hockey in Oneida County is going to be able to play for free. Right now we're up to almost 300 kids that registered.
Wow.
And I think for me, we got, anybody from Gary Heenan to Ryan Perrant, the Comets coach. We got, Tommy Sestitos, Zalewski, Mike, and then we got Andy Starcheski, Adam Pollock, Keith Veronese. The list goes on. We have Louis Edgicati, who runs our junior program. So we have all the top people in the area that are obviously friends of ours that all give back, and it's going to be 4 days of free hockey. Give them jerseys and make sure that they have a memorable experience. And I think all of us owe it to the county just for everything they've done for us. Like I said, it was something that we came up with a little while ago, but we were able to fit it into the busy schedule of Nexus this year, and we're looking to annualize it for every year.
Not only do you maintain a very busy schedule, but, I mean, you have a list of so many people, you got to coordinate all their schedules as well, and I know that was difficult.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these guys, this time of the year, we're getting ready for the start of the hockey season. We've all gotten familiarized with how to start the season up the right way and sometimes the wrong way. But anyways, I think that just once we get the ice in, everybody's excited at that time of year, from, like I said, all the people live locally right now, and I think all of us we know a lot of these kids, and we want to see more kids get into hockey and enjoy the Nexus Center, and I think it's going to be a fun time for everybody. And I look at it, a lot of these guys, whether it's Tommy Sestito, who played in the NHL, or Mike Zaleski, some of the guys that played Division I, great coaches, and Gary and Ryan, it's going to be the best tutelage the kids can get. We'll obviously put the advanced kids in advanced sessions and move it along the way, but when you look at mites, squirts, and peewees, it's a very fun age to be playing hockey. And, one of the best buildings in the world. And like I said, what our county executive and legislators have done for us, I think it's only fitting that we can give something back. And I think everybody, all my friends, are all on the same page on this.
I see it's important to note here, young men, young boys, and young girls as well. You have from Colgate, Annika Zalewski coming.
Yeah, she runs actually. She does a great job here in her own private practice and training off ice. But obviously, she was an amazing hockey player. And this is really for everybody. Everybody in Oneida County that plays youth hockey. We're really looking forward to getting all of us together, running them through skills sessions, teaching them the basics, and the better players. Working on some more advanced skill sessions with them, and to see all 3 sheets of ice fully filled with Oneida County kids, I think is a dream come true for the whole list of coaches on there. This isn't just me; this is all the other coaches too that have dreamed of things like this in the area and what the Nexus Center can be, and it's a first step. I think the neatest thing about the Nexus Center is it's doing so many things that we didn't even think about before. We had American Cornhole League Signature Series on ESPN. The other day, this past weekend, we had, massive ball hockey tournament, which sounds, a little bit simplistic, but it wasn't. It had over 800 room nights in the area. So it's just doing things that we never really dreamed it could do, whether it's national gymnastics or New York State gymnastics or dancing, all the different things that are going on in the building. It's not just hockey. I know that this this free hockey school is all about hockey, but I mean, realistically, I think it's a gift what the county has given this area, and it's been 2 fantastic years, and the next 18 months that building is jam-packed. So for us to be able to squeeze this in at the end of August, I think is a testament to the people that are booking this place, or the staff.
Thank you, Rob. Again, the date is August 19th through the 22nd. It's a free 4-day camp, on-ice instruction. You talked about some of the great participants, including yourself, who are there with real-life, professional, semi-pro, collegiate experience. Registration is free for all Oneida County residents. Each participant will receive a custom jersey for attending. Registration deadline is August 15th. You can sign up at uticacomets.com/school. Rob, while I got you on the phone, you talked about how great Nexus is, and I can't believe it's only been 2 years because there's been so many events in and out of there. What is next at Nexus, aside from this camp?
I think the area as a whole is really trying to fill in the next 3 city blocks. I think that's really important. I think we have a very much so a large need for hotel space. We've and we've met with the hotel owners, but that seems to be a challenge in booking larger events. Not so much the building, but hospitality is something that we got to keep working on, and I think that's a great problem to have. Mm-hmm. But cleaning up the blight in that area is going to be paramount, I think, for the future of just attracting these new events. Right now, we have some really cool things that I know that I can't announce right now, but we will be announcing.
We talked to Bill. You're good. You're good.
It's not my place to announce it. It's for somebody else will be announcing it for the springtime. But it's going to be another one of those major events that is just eye-popping, and you're just like, I didn't even know this could come to Utica. It has nothing to do with hockey, soccer, or lacrosse, or even cornhole, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be unique. That's the stuff that the Nexus Center, I think when we were dreaming of this thing, years ago, Tony, the Auto Authority, the legislators, there's all this stuff that we didn't know that was going to go on that excited us, and that's what's happening now. The other thing, moreover, I would say, is that they have all the people that have been coming here are rebooking as well. They love the space, whether it's the ball hockey, American Cornhole League, gymnastics, cheerleading, dancing, all these different things. So now it's like it's pushing, which was a very much so a hockey-heavy building. Now it's moving it into, 60% hockey or 50% in some cases, which I think, even being a hockey player, I think that's great for the building, and I think it's great for the area to be able to touch on each one of these things. I think is monumental.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And when you talk about it's rebooking, that's from the hospitality, from the experience that people have when they come to the city of Utica, and whether or not it was a good event, a bad event, did things happen, were there problems along the way? So that's a great thing. Mark?
Hi, Rob. Mark Butler here. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Good. Listen, I just want to congratulate you on all the great things you've done for the city of Utica. What a makeover over the last several years here, and I know you've been a central figure in a lot of all that. But I want you to know, even those of us out on the lunatic fringe, like up in Newport, when things are better in Utica, things are better for us. So you may not even realize how far your influence has stretched, but you've done a great job, and I wanted to mention that.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. I mean, obviously, it's the helping hands of a lot of people. There's no way that somebody like myself could do this without standing on the shoulder of the giants, and I think that the groundwork was laid, before me when I came back from the NHL. And I think as we move forward, I mean, I'm a very impatient guy. I'd like to see a lot of this stuff get done way quicker.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's like we got all the plans. We just got to get them out and get them done. But
exactly.
I think it's the exciting thing. We got a lot of great people here. But in fairness, what you're saying is exactly what the Nexus Center is. Without Tony and without the legislators, we don't have that game-changing, landmark in our area. And I think that, to me, is the one thing that is never echoed enough, along with, the Auto Authority members that have kind of sometimes maybe felt like blind faith going through, but they really made it work, and everybody worked together on that. And that, again, it's the helping hands a lot. It's definitely not me.
So,
but I do appreciate the kind words.
Yeah.
And it's only been 2 years that's been open?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I've had my son's, when he was in soccer, he was doing soccer tournaments over there. It feels like that was so long ago, like at least 3-4 years ago. But yeah, Rob, great job.
Yeah, wait till you get a little older. It even goes faster.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
It does. It does.
No, it's amazing. It's running over, it's running hundreds of thousands of out-of-towners into the area every year. I mean, it's absolutely crazy what it's been doing. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to let me talk about the hockey school as well.
Again, it's August 19th through the 22nd. It is free for all Oneida County residents. Each participant receives a custom jersey, and this is a great chance for instruction from former pro hockey levels, really hockey at all different levels, coaches, and all kinds. So you can sign up, uticacomets.com/school. Rob, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Have a great day.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W2 WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
He had a history of mental health issues. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The gunman who drove cross-country from Nevada, then walked into an office building in New York City last night and started shooting.
It was an M4 rifle, and we also found a revolver in the vehicle with ammunition and magazines.
Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, he killed 4 people, including an officer.
Didarel Islam, he was shot and killed. He was only 36 years old, working off-duty security at this building. It was like a second job. It was a program through the NYPD to get extra hours and money. He was married with 2 little boys, and his wife is pregnant with their 3rd child.
Fox's Alexis McAdams outside the building on Park Avenue in Manhattan, where the gunman also killed himself.
The New York Post had some information this morning that we're trying to confirm as well, talking about how the gunman played football in high school and had struggled with CTE, reportedly leaving a note in his pocket inside. Could that be a motive? That is still the question.
Another person was wounded, and an executive with the NFL, which has offices in the building. 3 people were killed, 3 wounded in another shooting outside a Reno, Nevada casino. That gunman was shot by police and hospitalized. Russia launched new attacks on Ukraine, killing at least 22 people the day after President Trump shortened his deadline for Russia to stop the war or face new economic sanctions.
The word from the Kremlin and Dmitry Medvedev is ominous. Quote, he should remember 2 things. 1, Russia isn't Israel or even Iran. 2, each new ultimatum is a threat and a step towards war. Not between Russia and Ukraine, but with his own country.
The president says Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. The president's now out golfing at his new course in Scotland. He'll fly back to Washington later. This is going to be a really hot day. Advisories, Nebraska down to Florida, up to New Hampshire. Extreme heat warnings in some areas.
These are feels like, so it's the heat plus the humidity. 110, 111 in Savannah, 109 in Jackson, 110 in Memphis. So a lot of spots getting at least up to triple digits.
Meteorologist Adam Klotz. America's listening to Fox News.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO, and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Well, Israel keeps going after Hamas in Gaza with attacks in the past day that Palestinian officials claim have killed at least 70 people, many of them attempting to get food aid amid a growing concern about starving Palestinians, prompting more of a backlash against Israel in yet another country.
Israeli government ministers Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich will no longer be allowed to enter the Netherlands, the Dutch accusing the pair of repeatedly inciting violence against Palestinians and calling for an ethnic cleansing of the Gaza Strip. Last month, the UK, Australia, Norway, Canada and New Zealand issued similar bans. That prompted condemnation from Secretary of State Marco Rubio and US Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee. Smotrich and Ben-Gvir lead ultra-nationalist parties in the governing coalition, which holds an 8-seat majority in Israel's parliament. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
There is a new warning about North Korean cyber attacks.
Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino warns North Korean IT workers may have already invaded American companies. Writing on social media, we urge you to look critically at your remote workforce. The warning comes days after the Justice Department announced an American citizen was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison for her role in a so-called laptop farm by stealing identities of dozens of Americans to help North Koreans land IT jobs with U.S. companies. The scheme, prosecutors say, generated more than $17 million for North Korea. Bongino says the private sector should remain on high alert. Affected businesses included Fortune 500 companies, the Justice Department says. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after record high closes for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 as Federal Reserve policymakers started a 2-day meeting this morning to assess the economy and consider an interest rate cut. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have sunshine, 74 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX News Time. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. New Yorkers once again being urged to prepare themselves for high heat today. Forecasters say the feels-like temperatures could be between 90 and 100 degrees today and tomorrow. Heat advisories are being put in place. Extreme heat is dangerous. It is also the leading cause of weather-related deaths in the United States. The city of Utica has been chosen as the next host of the Empire State's Summer Special Olympics Games. Special Olympics New York says the city is going to have the games between 2026 and 2028. Each June, hundreds of athletes with disabilities take part in sports, including basketball, powerlifting, swimming, and tennis. The Summer Games also feature a Healthy Athletes event where people can receive free health screenings. The latest expansion and modernization project at Syracuse Hancock International Airport now complete. Roughly $20 million was spent on things like additional seating, concession areas, and improving passenger flow. The second floor of the terminal building was also renovated to expand the Federal Inspection Safety Facility, which ensures that Syracuse keeps its international designation. The airport handled more than 3 million passengers last year alone. That's up 5% from 2023. The Madison County Sheriff's Office announced a new partnership with ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, giving the agency the authority to serve federal warrants on illegal aliens incarcerated at the county jail. Coming up this hour on the Keeler in the Morning Show, we will talk with Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood. Also joining us this hour in studio, Utica Councilwoman Katie Aiello. She is asking for the mayor to rescind what she calls unauthorized salary increases to avoid an Article 78 proceeding. We'll talk with Councilperson Aiello coming up this hour here on the Keeler Show as well. Right now, we have sunshine and 74 degrees. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 8:08.
Two more hot ones, then a front will get here by Thursday and knock us down. And a pretty good start to the month of August on Friday. Sun 90 today, near 90 tomorrow with an isolated shower thunderstorm in the afternoon. By Thursday, a few showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 70s. But how about Friday? Very pleasant sunshine, close to 80 degrees. In the morning, it'll be in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stejik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have sunshine, 74. It is 8:08. All right, from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, the Mets saw their winning streak snapped last night. It was a heartbreaker, a walk-off win for the Padres, 7-6 the final there. As I mentioned, the Mets had won 7 straight entering the game. However, they are still sitting atop the National League East. The Yankees fell again. They've dropped 4 out of 5. 4-2 was your final last night. The Yankees continue their 4-game series against the Rays in the Bronx this evening. Also, the Yankees involved in a trade. Atlanta acquiring veteran right-hander Carlos Carrasco from the Pinstripes on Monday in exchange for cash considerations. The 38-year-old had been designated for assignment in May. He was 2-2 with a 5.91 ERA in 8 appearances with the Yankees this season. He also had a 3.27 ERA while pitching a bit in AAA. Also, some sad news. Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg passing away. He had been battling cancer for some time. He was just 65 years old. All right, a busy hour ahead. As I mentioned, we'll talk with Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood. What does this agreement mean with ICE, and is it new? Is it new? Was it? I guess my question will be, was it necessary to do this, or were they doing this anyway? Is it a continuation of existing policy?
Yeah, but he told me on Friday when I scheduled this interview, they're not targeting agriculture, hospitality in Madison County. And if you want to clarify, he can go more in depth on that.
All right. Well, that's excellent. And we'll also talk with Councilperson Katie Aiello, who says these raises that some city officials are getting are unauthorized, and she's threatening to take action. It's Jeff Manaski along with our guest co-host this morning, Mayor Mark Butler, with his Bills hat on.
Bills hat, yes.
I hate to talk about football too soon because we don't want to say goodbye to the summer yet, but it is coming.
The first official game is on Thursday night.
It's preseason, though.
Well, it's the season kickoff. It's the Hall of Fame game between Detroit and the Chargers.
Can we get a nice week of 75 degrees and sunshine?
I'm all for it. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like where we live in the Northeast, I always say beggars can't be choosers, and I'll take this over the snow. I'll take this over snow, that's for sure. But it's got to either be snowing or 90. Can't we just fall in the middle?
Well, a few days ago, I found myself praying for rain. Geez, just give us some relief from this heat. And we finally did get some water, but wasn't enough.
There's quite a bit of rain Saturday night. That storm.
Yeah.
Your lawn's dead, right?
Well, it's brownish.
Yeah, it's brownish. I have a bit of an excuse where I fell behind a bit on the mowing. And it's interesting. Without the water, the grass doesn't grow. Yeah. So it's a little longer in my front yard, but I'm casually playing it. I've just been busy. I'm casually playing it off as, well, I don't want to burn it. I don't want to kill it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I don't have time to mow it today. So
just call Farmer Ben. He'll let you use one of his sheep if he's got any to put in your front
yard. First news, Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. Smitty's got the YouTube feed up today, and, of course, we're always streaming via the WIBX 950 mobile app.
Mattress Express's summer sale is on. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin, starting at just $4.99. Beautiful select therapeutic mattresses. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less, because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Looking to heat up your summer with a reliable ride without the brand new price tag? Cruise in to Steed Ponty Chevrolet in Herkimer and check out their sizzling lineup of Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicles. From sun-soaked road trips to everyday errands, all backed by a certified warranty and low financing options. Right now, qualified buyers can score hot summer rates as low as 3.9% for 36 months on top models like the Chevy Equinox, Trailblazer, Traverse, and Malibu. Don't sweat the car buying process. At their locally family-owned dealership, their team is there to make it easy and stress-free. You'll drive away cool, confident, and covered in a Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicle. But hurry, these summer savings are burning fast. You must take delivery by July 31st. Together, let's drive to Steed Ponty Chevrolet, where it's always easy to do business. Visit them on State Route 28 in Herkimer or online anytime at SteedPontyChevy.com. All taxes and fees additional. Customer must qualify for top-tier credit through GM Financial. See salesperson for details.
Are you struggling with neck pain, back, knee, wrist pain? This is Bill Keeler, and I'm talking about Revive Softwave Therapy with Dr. Timothy Del Medico. For me, this has worked. It is FDA cleared, non-invasive. It's all about making the pain go away. The new patient special is just $99. Call today, 315-725-8427. Revive Softwave Therapy with Dr. Timothy Del Medico. 315-725-8427. Call today.
Hi, I'm Jim Bono, your guide to all things summer happening right here in Herkimer County. From scenic views in our beautiful Adirondacks to family fun, outdoor adventures, and the many festivals lighting up our towns and villages, there's something for everyone. Visit Herkimer County online at herkimercountyny.gov/events for a complete listing of summer happenings.
Herkimer County, where history, commerce, and beauty collide. It's all happening here this season. Visit Herkimer County online and make your spring and summer unforgettable.
It's Mazda's More to Move You sales event at Steve Ponte Mazda. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s and CX-5s with 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. See the dealership for details. Mazda finished 2024 up 16.8% in sales year over year, so let's make your deal at Steve Ponte Mazda.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy.
School is almost here, and we think every kid should get started on the right feet. We've partnered with Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield to help local kids get new sneakers for the new school year. We call it Kicks for Kids, and you can help. Help us clear the Amazon sneaker wish list. Our friends at the Neighborhood Center will help get those sneakers in the hands or feet of the right kids who need them. We only have till September 7th. Thanks from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield and WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Let's see what he's saying. Oh, my son is adorable. Sending me text messages this morning. We talked, you weren't here when we talked about this, but obviously the passing of Hulk Hogan. Oh, he's so cute. He's actually calling me right now. I'm sorry, I'm going to take this on the air. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Listen, Dad's on the air. I can't talk to you right now. Can I buzz you right after the show? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. I love you. The passing of Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was an icon of mine growing up as a child, and with his death, my mother has convinced him that he's going to my son likes to draw. He's got his whole little art book, and he does all these drawings. So he's drawing me a Hulk Hogan photo, and it's a big deal. He's promised me it by Saturday, and I think he was calling to check in on his progress there. He's 9 years old, and boy, he's not the most important thing in the world. Oh,
young artist.
He's a young artist. We are talking this morning here with, sorry, I had to do that. I didn't want to hit ignore. I never hit ignore on my son's call, so no matter what I'm doing, I got to take that call. Madison County Sheriff's Office announced a new partnership with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, giving the agency the authority to serve federal warrants on illegal aliens incarcerated at the county jail. Sheriff Todd Hood from Madison County joins us now. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great.
So this new warrant service officer model will involve several members of the Sheriff's Office undergoing training and receiving authorization to serve and execute federal administrative warrants strictly within the confines of the Madison County Jail. It sounds like this is a new program. That's what I kind of wanted to begin. What was being done prior to this this agreement, if you will, or this authorization?
So, I mean, not to be abrupt, but not much was being done in our country for the previous 4 years, obviously. You know, we had massive amounts of people entering the country, and they decided to give this a shot with our county. So this program actually started with the Bill Clinton administration way back when, and there's actually 3 or 4 I think there's 3 sheriff's offices in the state that are involved with the program right now. Us, Rensselaer, Broome, and Niagara counties are all doing this simultaneously statewide. So, you know, it involves them coming in and training our deputies from the jail and the road patrol on warrant service. You know, they'll be able to serve a warrant of arrest, serve a warrant of removal, and then detain and transport if we have to. Our transport area is in Batavia, New York, and they're pretty full right now, from my understanding.
So, Sheriff, so for instance, regardless of the administration, whether it was Bush, Obama, Biden, and even the first Trump administration, so essentially, if you had in custody somebody considered to be an illegal immigrant who was in your jail, there was not a process in place to serve them with a warrant and turn them over to the federal government? Or am I misunderstanding?
No, we would call ICE if there was like not a suspicion but probable cause. We would contact ICE to have their status checked, and then we would let them know, and they would usually be at our jail. I think it's like 40 hours or something like that they have to get there. And now there won't be a restriction like that if they can't make it in time. Like you read one of the people was released. New York State sheriffs right now, we can only take a detainee if they have criminal charges attached. So say they get picked up on a warrant and lodged in our county jail, that's from a judge or a court order. So the ICE detainer is a civil piece of paperwork. So we can't accept that alone right now in New York. This will help this program, so we'll be able to hold them till either ICE can get there or we can get them to Batavia. So it's going to be a good program.
Can I ask how many of your inmates would qualify under this program to be served the warrant?
Yeah, we have very few right now. I'd say less than 1% or 2% that are coming in. But this would allow us also to house the inmates also. So, like I said, we already contract with the federal government. New York State sheriffs, a lot of them contract with the U.S. Marshals, who handles all of the detention for federal inmates, i.e. the FBI, DEA. They get picked up on federal charges. The marshals take them into custody, and they bring them to the county jails across the state, and then they pay a fee to board them in our county jails. So most people don't realize that. There's over 2,000 state-ready inmates in county jails because of the prison incident, and none other than the New York State sheriffs handle all that, right? We're the ones that came to the rescue and bailed the state out when they had that going on, and we're still doing it. We were at 2,500 about a month ago, and with the amount of inmates coming in, the New York State sheriffs handle all of that. So it's quite a task, and we house federal inmates, and obviously somebody comes in with new charges, they go to the county jail, fill their arraignment in the morning, and whether they're detained for another court proceeding, which I'm not going to lie is rare in New York with the bail reform. Most people are getting appearance tickets and going right back out on the street.
Yep.
Right. And that's even if they're the subject of a federal warrant.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we'll take them. So if they have federal charges like that, we're good to go. But there was a court ruling down in Suffolk County where they I think, I don't know the particulars, but they held somebody on an ICE detainer, and the courts ruled down there that was not acceptable. So our advice from the Sheriff's Association was don't do it unless they have criminal charges. And now I think this will bring a little relief with the training where these people are actually appointed and trained by ICE, where they'll have the ability to detain and then get them to the ICE facility without the time restrictions. I think there's still a time restriction. I think it's 48 hours.
We're talking with Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood. When you talked about the training that goes along with this and the ability to serve federal warrants on illegal aliens incarcerated at the county jail, does this open up a funding stream or any revenue for either the county or the jail in regard to the work that is being done, I guess, essentially on behalf of the federal government?
Great question. So, yeah, we get a fee. We have arrangements with the marshals, the state prisons. They all pay us when people are in our county jails. The problem is the funding. It's not adequate. It costs us around $312 a day to house an inmate in our county jail. They're usually paying around $100 a day to house them there in revenue. But, we already have everything set up, obviously, so we're still making revenue on them with that fee. So that pays for the housing and the food and the employee or the sheriff's budget also.
Sure. So, and Sheriff, I made a comment yesterday, and I'm not sure if I was completely accurate in this, but I'll use myself as an example. Say I was wanted on a federal warrant for robbing a bank or some type of a violent assault. If you encountered me, even in a traffic stop, and it came up in your database or your system that I was wanted by the federal, there was an active federal warrant for me, was there a mechanism to turn me over as a United States citizen, and how is that different from somebody who's considered to be an illegal immigrant?
Right, so that's a criminal charge. So they recognize that a judge issued a warrant of arrest, a federal judge issued a warrant of arrest, and that's what we can enforce. The detainers are civil, so that's an administrative detainer that they put on the person through ICE. So once we get the criminal charge, I don't care if it's like resisting arrest or criminal mischief or petit larceny. You know, they did something criminal, and that's how they're in our jail, and that's all we need. So it's not a heavy lift. Usually if they're encountering the police, there's a criminal charge anyways. They did something to get stopped and to put themselves on the radar.
Sure. All right. Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood, you said there's a training underway. How long does that last, and when does this officially begin?
We're in the process of that right now. The training's about 8 hours per deputy, so we'll start cycling people through the program. You know, I was on a meeting with ICE last Friday, and I wanted to bring something to your attention and to the public's attention. You know, while we have this platform, you have a lot of listeners. So from the ICE administration in Buffalo, New York, they will not go into agricultural buildings, i.e. farms or areas where there's harvesting of fruits, vegetables, or anything else. Any areas of hospitality, that includes hotels or resorts, or industrial areas. So, you know, I'm not saying they're not going to do something while they're not working to come in contact with ICE, but there will be no active, you know, like raids in those areas. And that's right from ICE. So a lot of the farmers were terrified. You know, they've been having these workers on their farms for, you know, 4 years. And the ones that have the green card, you know, you don't have to worry about anything. They're in here on a work visa, but the ones that are in here illegally, they could still get picked up if they did something wrong, but they state that they are not going to be doing any raids there. Unless, of course, the person is a, you know, violent wanted felon and they're doing a surgical type of, you know, apprehension to get them because they're a real bad threat to society.
Sure. And when you say that they won't raid, let's say, a farm or an agricultural facility or hospitality facilities, that's only for these civil violations we're talking about, right? Not, I mean, right. If somebody is wanted on a felony criminal complaint or a federal arrest warrant, they will or they won't raid a farm?
They would, something like that they would do. Like,
okay.
That's no different than any other. That's like a SWAT team call out for the sheriff's office. You
Sure.
get somebody that's that bad, you're planning. You know, there's a lot that goes into that. There's surveillance, there's planning, manpower, you know, and we all help each other out when there's those type of situations. You know, if we have a barricade or a hostage type deal, I'll take law enforcement help from anybody who will show up in those type of situations because many hands make light work. You know, it's no different than putting a roof on. You get 20 people up there doing it or 20 cops when you're doing an operation, and life is just easier because of the resources.
Sure, I understand. I appreciate I appreciate your time this morning, and thank you for explaining that because I was having a hard time understanding it, and I'm glad you added at the end there. So if it's a civil type situation, essentially, somebody is their only violation is that they're in this country illegally. ICE in Buffalo says they will not raid farms or hospitality locations for something that's civil, considered to be civil.
Yeah, and when I say raid, that's like going through doing checks or stops or anything like that. So they'll go in there if they have another circumstance regarding it, but I think the current administration, you know, said that they will keep that to a minimum, or if any, you know, that's what they told me. They won't be doing it.
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much, Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Yep. Have a great day.
Thank you. That, again, was Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood providing some information here on this new partnership with ICE, and it gives the agency authority to serve federal warrants on illegal aliens incarcerated at their county jail. we are behind on the Hobeika Law Firm's free money question of the day. I apologize for that. We've gotten some topics. This is a daily benchmark. I'm going to get scolded for this, even though I officially don't work here. But I missed it yesterday, and I'm on the brink of missing it again today. So we're going to do how much, Smitty?
$100.
$100. And
Caller 4.
We'll take caller 4 right now, 315-736-0186. Your chance to win $100 from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika. It's First News Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking and the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
A Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle is a tremendous value, and right now during Mazda's More to Move You sales event at Steed Ponte Mazda, you can enjoy one of our best late model Mazdas from our Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles. We offer them with a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And if you need a lower price or payment, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle from the dealership that has achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction, Steed Ponte Mazda.
Your child's future is full of promise, but hidden dangers like lead can quietly stand in the way. In Utica, lead exposure is still a risk, but with one simple step, you can protect what matters most. Talk to your medical professional and get your child tested. New York law requires lead testing at ages 1 and 2. It's quick, it's safe, and it can change their life. Test today for a brighter tomorrow. Test today. Protect their tomorrow. Visit leadfreemv.org to learn more.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
2 more hot ones, then a front will get here by Thursday and knock us down, and a pretty good start to the month of August on Friday. Sun 90 today, near 90 tomorrow with an isolated shower thunderstorm in the afternoon. By Thursday, a few showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 70s. But how about Friday? Very pleasant sunshine, close to 80 degrees. In the morning, it'll be in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service is celebrating 45 years of serving Central New York. Family owned and operated since 1980, they're proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to AC service and check engine light diagnostics, they offer complete auto service and repair. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. We will go to the phone lines now, and our contestant this morning is Greg. Greg, where are you calling from?
New Hartford.
New Hartford. Greg, do you have knowledge in art?
Ooh, not since high school.
Okay, well, maybe this one will ring a bell. It's your chance to win $100 from the Hobeika Law Firm. Okay, this Dutch painter, considered one of the greatest post-impressionist artists of all time, died on this date in 1890, 2 days after shooting himself. Ready, go.
You have got to be kidding. I have zero guesses.
Zero guesses. I'm telling you, I thought maybe the year or the fact that the manner in which he died was a suicide would be a giveaway.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but boy, there's a lot of artists that commit suicide.
I didn't know that, and that's tragic if that is the case. The answer is Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh
cut off his ear.
He
Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
He did.
I didn't know that. But so Van Gogh, I mean, that was gettable, right? I mean, that's one of the names.
It was very gettable. I just totally did not expect that art question.
Listen, you didn't win the $100, but you have won a $25 all-in-one Food and Fun gift card. This is redeemable at places like Babe's, Taylor and the Cook, Cookie's Q and Creamery. You can also use it at the Adirondack Bank Center. You can use it for the concessions there or in the gift shop and get yourself some cool Comets merchandise. Greg, I appreciate you taking the... Go ahead.
You used to advertise for the Aquavino here in New Hartford. Are they still on that?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I apologize I didn't mention them, but it does work at Aquavino as well.
Great. I'll be looking forward to picking it up.
Awesome. Greg, stay on the line. Davey's going to get your information.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And we do the Hobeika Law Firm's free money question of the day. Bill does it every day at 7:45. I'm filling in here, so I'm a little late to getting to it. I apologize for that. We'll try to get back on track tomorrow morning. And we'll have a bonus question at some point this week because I missed the contest yesterday morning. Moving along, joining us in studio, Utica Councilperson Katie Aiello. How you doing?
Good morning.
You are coming at the mayor here, and you're calling it an unauthorized raise. Can you explain, for those who aren't familiar, what the issue here and why you're raising this concern?
Yeah, and so people also understand Utica's fiscal year runs April 1st to March 31st. So when we were in budget discussions, when he raised your taxes the second time this past year in February, he came to E&A at first and said, currently the mayor makes $105,000. He started with he wanted $115,000. So right off the bat, this $10,000 raise didn't make any sense, especially with what the law says, and we'll get into that in a second.
That's I'm going to ballpark it. That's roughly 9%.
Yeah.
That's a jump. Yeah. That's a jump.
Lo and behold, the charter reads, there's a lot of parts to it, but absolutely no raises above 6%. He ends up lowering it to the 6% threshold for him. But when he gets to the council unanimously voted to reduce funding for all of the elected officials' salary raises. That's bottom line. He vetoes a bunch of our amendments. We unanimously override those vetoes, 21 of them. This entire council agreeing this is not the year for elected official raises. Not only that, so when you get into the charter, it says you can only take raises on years for elected officials that CPI, the Consumer Price Index, basically for inflation, reaches above 3%. If not, you don't get a raise. In December of 2024, where we measure that number, we were at 2.9%. So
it's close. It doesn't exceed the threshold, but
right.
it's very close in the neighborhood. Okay, but it's 2.9%.
And whatever that 3% is, you match that raise with it. So how he even got to 6%, I have no idea. But I've been telling him since April 1st, I will be pursuing an Article 78 if you don't correct this. And you have 4 months to file. So I've given him every last chance here, and we'll see if he responds today.
So a quick thing on the documentation here you provided. I see Mayor $105,057. That's his current salary.
That was last year. And so then he gave himself a 6% raise. So even though the council overrode his veto, he still went ahead with raises for himself. So he now makes $111,360, $4,000 more than last year.
Okay, so but I guess that was what caught my attention. I'm sorry, the numbers in my brain. That's actually an increase of $6,303.
Oh yes, thank you. Well, yeah, I have to fix that. That is actually the $6,000.
So it's actually more than the $4,000 that you claimed.
$4,000 from before.
So it's actually a little bit more actually than you thought.
Yeah.
All right. So are the raises only for him, or are there other city officials, department heads that are getting these raises as well?
Yeah, we have 12 elected officials in the city, the mayor, the controller, and then we have 10 council people. One of them is a council president. So even our raises, I know a lot of us waived them. I don't know which ones did, but I'm putting this out there for all elected officials. the law says we're not supposed to have raises this year. The mayor claims that he's just correcting past years, but you can't. This isn't the mechanism to do that with.
What was the tax increase last year, by the way?
14% in the end.
Yeah, that's steep.
Yeah.
That is steep. And I will say, I want to be fair here. A lot of times when somebody in government, and Mark, you can weigh in on this, I'm sorry.
No, okay, I'm listening.
When there's a jump in a salary, sometimes it comes because, that position hasn't had a raise in 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, because they're trying to hold the line on things. Can you talk about that? And in your experience, have you seen there are, it's not an every year increase, but then there's a big jump and it gets held for a while?
Well, that is a problem, and I think that happens in Albany. They wait 10, 12 years, and then they get this huge jump. But if you calculated it annually, it isn't that big of a problem. But, that's public relations. I don't know the answer to that, but I always said they should, as you have, tie it to the CPI and make it annual so you don't go through this every so many years.
Yeah. And to that point, for many years, I know when Mayor Rafaro was in office, he made about $80,000. His last year, 2008 time, things were bad, so he actually took a 5% pay cut. So when Palmieri took over, he entered into that, and this law does say the increase shall happen. A lot of mayors opted out of it, so they corrected it in 2020. They brought a local law to the council saying what the new base pay would be for mayors and the controller. And that's actually the appropriate way to, I think, make corrections.
So you're saying if the CPI is over 3%, it leads to an automatic salary increase?
They're supposed to take it. Well, and here's the interesting thing is last year he could have taken it. It was 3.4%. He didn't. Maybe something has to be reconciled, but I don't think it's the man who gets the paycheck gets to decide it. That's where I'm taking it before a judge.
Yeah, I think that does rub some taxpayers the wrong way. It's like, well, if I got to determine my own raise, I would certainly be approving it. You did mention, though, that he was set for a 3.4% raise last year and opted out of it?
I don't know. When I asked him why didn't he do it, I got two different answers throughout the year, throughout the budget process. So I still don't know what it was. I think he was just new and maybe he didn't know, but then it later turned into I can't speak for him. I have no idea how he got to his first number of 115,000 or his second one of 111,000.
So we did discuss coming off a year where taxes went up 14%, and he opted out of a raise last year. When do you think it would be appropriate for the mayor to raise his salary, and should that be approved by the council?
I do think I'm okay with going by the CPI. The national CPI, that's what Social Security does. And I'm not somebody who thinks elected officials shouldn't get salaries. I'm a mom of two. I'm 35. I own a business. If you want someone like me in office fighting for you, I can't do it for free. Mm-hmm. I think there is an extent, though, where it goes too far when you're not meeting the parameters of the law. This does provide very specific restrictions for a reason.
So let me understand. These raises were included in the budget, and you guys vetoed them.
Yep.
And he overrode the vetoes.
Yes.
It wasn't.
Oh, he vetoed them. We overrode them.
You overrode them. Okay.
And then still on April 1st, when I sat down for E&A, he said, we're taking them anyway.
Interesting.
Did you have another question?
Well, yeah, my other question is, end result, what do you hope to accomplish if you follow through on an Article 78? Just repeal all the salary increases, or maybe negotiate them, or what?
I think they should be repealed. If there's excess, then pay it back to the taxpayers of the city. But mostly, whatever the final number is, I don't think we should. I don't find this law to be a debate. I think it's government overreach.
So,
wouldn't that be great if laws were debatable after they were passed? Look, officer.
I just want
I think it should be 45 on this road, not 30. All right.
So the intent of Article 78 is not to be punitive. There wouldn't be fines or any.
No,
just to repeal these salary increases.
Yeah, and in Article 78, for everyone listening, that's when if the government makes a decision that you think is unlawful or arbitrary, or whatever, you can file an Article 78. It doesn't have to be just from a council person. Anyone can do it. You have 4 months from when that decision was made, to then it goes before a court and a judge can decide, is this lawful, is it not, what's going to happen next.
If it's currently at 6%?
Yes.
If he dropped it to 2.9, would you drop this issue, or you don't think he should get a raise?
No, that's not the law. The law says raises only are triggered at 3%. So his 2.9% could roll over to next year, and if we hit over 3, then fair game. But
it's funny. You've got some quotes here. I don't mean to say it's funny, but I noticed in this release you have some quotes, and you say, I'm just letting you know that there will be an Article 78. Then Mayor Galimi responds, you say, okay, great, so go for it. Sue the city, sue me, do whatever you want. And then you reply, we don't have to. You could do this the right way. And you say that he replied, okay, cool. You can argue that in the right way in the court of law.
Yeah, that was that was on April 1st during our E&A meeting. And there was just, it's another situation where there's no getting through or understanding his logic or reason. It's, I'm right, you're wrong, too bad. So thankfully, that's where the courts come in.
Okay. Where does the rest of the council stand on this? Are they supporting you in this I don't want to say threat, but you're threatening to bring an Article 78 proceeding. Are they behind you on this? Because they did veto the raise.
Yeah, I think we all stand on the same principle of this. In the summer months, we only meet once a month right now, so I haven't seen them since the beginning of July, and I'm not going to see them again until the end of August. I don't know. I don't think they're going to sign on me with the lawsuit or anything. I plan on filing myself. Appreciate all the support we can get, but I think, when stuff like this goes unchecked, especially on years like 14% last year, he wanted another 3% this year. After we fought him down from 9%, he's going to want to raise your taxes again next year. I don't think he has the concept of a dollar or the law, so that's why I'm here.
All right, we're talking with Councilperson Katie Aiello. Smitty, any comments from the YouTube page? You're telling me I got to take a break. Can you stay with us?
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back in 2 minutes. It's First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and servicing Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TIRE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TIRE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TIRE.
It's Mazda's More to Move You sales event at Steed Ponte Mazda. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s and CX-5s. With 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. See the dealership for details. Mazda finished 2024 up 16.8% in sales year over year, so let's make your deal at Steed Ponte Mazda.
Mattress Express's summer sale is on. Get a king for the price of a queen for the price of a full, and a full for the price of a twin, starting at just $4.99. Beautiful select therapeutic mattresses. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
It is the Keeler Show. First news, Keeler on vacation. He'll be back next week, though. Jeff Manaski sitting in alongside or across from us. I keep wanting to call you Assemblyman. Mayor Mark Butler is joining us here this morning. He often joins Bill on Tuesdays. Utica councilperson Katie Aiello is in studio. She's objecting to a raise in the city of Utica for the mayor's position, along with a few other positions as well. Essentially, this is in the city charter, or this is state law about the 3%?
About the 3% that we...
So if the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, rises above 3%, then the mayor would be entitled to a raise. But anything below that essentially says you have to not take a raise.
Right. And if it went above 6%, 1 year it went to 7%, the max you can take is 6%. You can't roll anything over. It resets.
He did, though, last year had... I guess the ability to take almost a 3.5% raise. He opted out of that. And was the CPI over 3% last year?
3.4.
It was 3.4 for going into the last fiscal year. So he could have. I don't know why he didn't. He goes back and forth of now he's going off the regional CPI. That's not what Social Security does. That's not what the Bureau of Labor Statistics says to do. And ultimately, it's just... He overrode the council's authority here and is trying to use it for his paycheck. So, it's pretty simple.
So what you're saying, there are two CPI indexes, and he chose one that
is
you
more
wouldn't
convenient.
ordinarily
right.
use.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
And I go, so that's where we're at, and I think it's indicative of a lot of his budget, and I don't know where he comes up with a lot of these numbers, and it is concerning. So it's... we have a lot of people, I'm getting disappointed. A lot of people say, that's just what politicians do. You cannot start being that apathetic and accepting that. And because when you stop paying attention, that's when the politicians even stop pretending. Yeah. And it just unravels from there. We have the tools. We need to use them. The court is one of them. And otherwise, anybody can do this. No past mayors have abused the CPI like this. But, I think the court of law will have the answers more than the court of public opinion.
So we're going to reach out to Mayor Mike Galimi, give him a chance to answer back here on the show tomorrow if he'd like to do that. The Article 78 action would just essentially stop the raise?
It would, yes, the judge would get to rule on what the raise actually is or could be and enforce that for the paycheck.
Will you need to hire an attorney for the court case, or would it be a city attorney? How would that?
I'm just filing pro se, and we'll be taking this myself.
Okay.
So I feel like the law is it's pretty straightforward on this one. If anybody is interested, pro bono, but otherwise, filing fees about $300. I think it's worth it.
And I would assume the Corporation Counsel's office would be defending the mayor if this did go to.
Yes.
Okay. What the timeline is today? Today's the last day?
Today's the last day. I have 4 months from then to file. So tomorrow I'll probably be filing, if not sooner.
All right. Also coming up later today, something we wanted to
And also,
highlight.
if I can just add.
Yeah.
It'd be nice not to go to court. That's why I've been making a fuss about this. It shouldn't have to go that far. I would love to reconsider. The mayor has till today at 4:30 to talk things out, and maybe we can come to an agreement where he follows the law.
And the number you want is 0, not 2.9. I think you said it's currently at 6. You want it to be 0 for this year. Yeah. Okay.
2.9 didn't reach 3%.
All right, we're talking with Utica councilperson Katie Aiello. Another issue, and this has been, for quite some time. I can't even remember how many years back. But there is some funding available as it relates to Barnes Avenue. There's a meeting coming up tonight. For those who aren't familiar, Barnes Ave is, if you're on Oriskany Boulevard and you're starting to drive out of the city of Utica, you go under the bridge. There's the Dunkin' Donuts on the left-hand side, and there's a little turnoff. There's that big brick building where there used to be like a tattoo parlor, the big billboard on the side of that building.
Before you hit Fast Track, yeah.
Before you hit the and there's a little, I guess now it's a dead end road, but there was a bridge over there. Was it a fire a couple years ago that damaged that bridge? I remember there's like essentially a car graveyard back there, and I do remember at one point covering a tire fire over there, but I can't remember why that bridge was shut down.
I don't remember what actually caused it to shut down. I know it's not safe for use. Right now, it's part of so we're just applying for the grant. We haven't been awarded it yet, but I want to let people know tonight at 6 p.m. to 7:30, if you come to the Polish Community Club, there's in person you can speak at this public meeting in person to let us know your issues and thoughts of what the area needs if we do get this grant. And then again, tomorrow morning, July 30th, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., stop by the Chancellor Park Utica Farmers Market to weigh in again as well.
Awesome. All right. Katie, anything else?
That's it for me. Thank you so much.
All right.
Mayor of Newport, not Mayor of Utica, to be clear.
I've learned a lot here today.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. And you kind of outline what the rules are for calculating CPI and when an official would get a raise or not. You mentioned that members of the council, some of them had opted out of a raise that's included in the budget. Does that include you?
Yeah.
You've opted out.
I
just wanted to make sure. I assumed as much. But
and I just don't know which ones because it just says council person and the adjusted price, so I can't decide who.
Do you know how many off the top?
I think half of us, so
half?
at least.
So 5?
5 or 6.
Yeah, okay. All right. Councilperson Aiello, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Busy program today, and we have another busy show coming up tomorrow. Smitty, who are we sitting with? Is it Beth Irons?
Yeah, Beth will be guest hosting tomorrow. We have Gary Bunchuk from the founder of the Utica Brew Fest, which is coming up this Saturday. And we have one of the riders that's going to be participating in the Utica Stampede and Rodeo at the Utica Odd.
Oh, no kidding. That's just around the corner. And I want to say
Friday and Saturday.
Oh, it's this weekend.
This weekend.
I think tickets are like $10 if you want to go.
Yeah.
So check that out. That'll be at the Adirondack Bank Center coming up Friday and Saturday.
You talk about concussions. I think that's a good sport that probably will be getting some attention with lawsuits.
That's possible. That is possible. But they do have some headgear on. And I guess if
you wear a football helmet too. But
yeah. It seems, well, I shouldn't say this because I don't know. I don't watch a ton of bull riding, but it seems less repetitive and less severe unless you get stomped by a bull. I guess that could be obviously extremely dangerous.
You've obviously never been thrown 8 feet through the air and landed head first.
Well, maybe we can get Rob Esch back on, and he can help me out with that problem. I could do an experimental bull ride. We'll see about that. I don't think it's likely, but we'll talk to one of the bull riders coming up on the program here tomorrow. Smitty, thank you. Great job as always. Beth Irons co-hosting tomorrow. Have a great day. It's going to be a hot one. Stay cool and hydrated. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Beautiful woodwork adds warmth and charm to any kitchen. But years of use can leave your cabinets worn and faded. When you call Enhance, we'll make your cabinets as good as new again in as little as 1 day for a lot less than you'd pay for traditional refinishing or replacements. Whether you want to renew your cabinet's original finish or completely change their color, just tell us the look you want and we'll help you get it. Or bring your hardwood floors back to life. With most Enhance renewals, you can use your floors again the same day. Plus, there's no mess, no dust, and no odors. Call Enhance today for a free in-home consultation. We'll explain the process, we'll show you how your cabinets or floors will look when we're done, and we promise you'll be really pleased with the price. And when you trust Enhance, you'll get the skilled workmanship and attention to detail we bring to every job. There's no obligation. Call us now at 738-1113. 738-1113.
Are you struggling with neck pain, back, knee, wrist pain? This is Bill Keeler, and I'm talking about Revive Softwave Therapy with Dr. Timothy Delmedico. For me, this has worked. It is FDA cleared, non-invasive. It's all about making the pain